Gentlemen and ladies, Game 2, Kings Oilers. Kings lead the series 1-0 on the back of a 6-5 victory. Up 4-0, up 5-3 with 2 minutes left to go. Blow the lead just for an interference that wasn't called. Goes in the back of the net. I'm not not saying it's the ref's fault, but that snow shower has to be called. We've had less snow showers in the NHL called. But hey, it's the LA Kings going up against the Edmonton Oilers. The refs are definitely going to be doing what the refs are going to do. And there's nothing the Oilers can do about it. The only thing, and I'm being very honest with you guys right now, the only thing the Oilers can do is play through it. Don't bitch about it. Don't acknowledge it. Don't talk about it. Just do it. Your lineup for tonight: Draisaitl, McDavid, Perry, Kane, Hopkins, Hyman, Friedrich, Henrique, Brown, Podkolzin, Janmark, Arvidsson. Your defensive pairings: Nurse, Bouchard, Wollman, Klingberg, Kulak, Emberson. Your starting goalie is Stuart Skinner. Whether you like it or not, he is the starter. Deal with it. I am sorry if you don't like it, but honestly, he was not the reason the team lost last night. How about the Oilers start a game on time, not wait to the third period? Just saying, I'm not saying. You want to throw as much shade against the goal as possible. Where was everybody else for 40 minutes? Non-existent. I agree. This is going to be a good game. This game here will tell me everything I need to know about this LA King team and everything I need to know about this Edmonton Oilers team. If it's the same old, they come out like junk and the Kings come up big to start the game, we could be in trouble. By we, I mean the Oilers. Hello, folks. How you doing?
Guys, yeah, will we defend the best? We don't know, but at least you can get the puck to those guys and let them go. Kings go 11-7 tonight. No Turcotte. You know, the thing about the start of last
11-7 tonight for the LA Kings. They're down a forward.
Participation pins. Everybody got to play, right? And
but that post-game photo that the LA Kings took, you would think the Kings won the fucking series the way that photo was taken. Good God. What is one thing that Don Cherry always said? Do not embarrass your opponent. In a playoff series, when you have to play them more than one time back-to-back, do not embarrass your opponent. What do you think LA did 2 nights ago? Hey, how's it going, Janias? I'm excited for tonight. I am very excited for tonight. I think the Oilers are going to score 3 quick ones in the first period. Shut up this King fan. Shut up the King players. Yeah, laugh now, Garbakov. Laugh now, buddy, because you're not going to be laughing second period when your team is looking up at the rafters. Yes, 8:22 is the puck drop. Still a few minutes away. Don't ask me why they say game starts at 8, but don't expect anything to get started till well after. Also, don't forget, the LA Kings had 2 5-on-3s. That's stupid. I'm sorry, but you cannot have one team have 2 5-on-3s and the other team have 2 penalty power plays to start the period, to start off. That's insane to me that one team got so many. But Wes McCauley is the ref tonight, folks, so if you didn't like the other games reffing, you might not like tonight. Hey, how's it going, Edmund?
Through almost 2 periods of play, the numbers showed the fact that it was Los Angeles that was taking charge, particularly that top number of goals. But after being upset on the bench, you saw Leon Draisaitl score late in period number 2, and then, well, Connor McDavid did what Connor McDavid does until a late goal by Philip Deneau gave them a chance to win Game 1. In honor of the last game and the national anthems, I'll give it a go.
Don't give it a go, Gene.
Here's Trevor Rabone.
That was embarrassing last night, the last game.
Here to perform the Canadian national anthem this evening.
Okay, I'll send that to you right now.
Please welcome season ticket member Hannah Davey.
Yeah, 11 seconds. 11 seconds, snow shower. I'm just going to call it like I call it, man. If the ref calls that slash on the third Kings goal, Kings don't score that goal. Ref calls a penalty against Byfuglin or Byfield for slashing McDavid, hooking McDavid, even tripping McDavid. You call any one of those calls, we are not talking about a loss today. Jesus Christ, get a new anthem singer.
And here to perform the national anthem of the United States of America, backed by popular demand, please sing along with the harmonica class from the Koreatown Senior and Community Center.
No, for fuck, no. Yeah, I'm gonna mute this, guys. I'm gonna save you guys the heartache and just talk over it, because this is embarrassing. God. Oh my God, this you're making a mockery of them, and they think that this is good. Like, and you know what the worst part about everything is? It's Oiler fans bashing our goaltending. Like, I'm okay. I am okay with other fan bases coming at our goalie and saying he sucks and our defense sucks. It's the Asian senior community in LA playing Star Spangled Banner on the harmonica. Favorite matches about WrestleMania 41. The triple threat between Seth Rollins, Punk, and Roman. The women's tag match with Becky Lynch coming out. The four-way with Braun Breaker. I've got 5 matches. The Braun Breaker match with Dirty Dom, Penta, and Finn Balor. The Drew McIntyre and what's his nuts? Priest. And the number 1 match, John Cena beating Cody Rhodes. I loved it. I loved it. Let's go, boys. Let's go. Let's get off start. Let's get off to one.
First game all season long. Highly anticipated muscle, functional toughness, and yes, scoring touch added to the Edmonton lineup.
Yeah.
Who has Connor McDavid and Leon Draisaitl starting on a line together to open game 2. And off the draw, it's Draisaitl with a goal and an assist, bustling up on Phil Deneau. Nasty right off the hop, and we're underway in game 2 as the Oilers go to work. A dramatic comeback, a 4-goal deficit erased in game 1, but LA got the winner, Philip Deneau. Here's a drive by Draisaitl that clipped off the side of the net, and already Edmonton going to work with its top unit, hemming Los Angeles in. Doughty and Anderson defensively can't extract the puck. Draisaitl gets it back from Bouchard, looks for the net, shoots just wide. Rebound, Nurse, a sprawling save made by Kemper. LA has been in its own zone for 40 seconds, and they'll remain there as Bouchard boots it right back in. The top unit, Louis, right off the hop, putting LA under duress.
Right out of the gate, similar to what they
Icing
did
against
in the
LA.
third
Let's
period.
go.
They were loaded up
Let's
down the
go.
stretch and
Wow.
tied the game 5-5
Calhoun,
before the
Georgia.
Los Angeles Kings were able to
Nice.
find that winning
Let's go,
goal.
boys.
Philip Deneau, the second of the game, but early in this one, right into the offensive zone and a couple chances. This one here just misses wide through the screen by Draisaitl, and then another chance. As
Yeah,
you
I
can
don't
see
understand
down
it.
the left-hand side.
Like I said, if another team wants to bash us, let them bash us. I got no qualm with that. It's Oiler fans that are bashing the team. Like, grow a pair of balls, you freaking babies. We don't need Stuart Skinner to be great. We just need to be good, and he was good enough to win last night after the team didn't show up for 2 periods. As CM Punk says, stop me when I'm lying. Where's the lie? Yeah, that triple threat match is pretty great. I'm not sure keeping Io Sky as the title holder was the best thing, but
was March the 27th, so he has played extremely sparingly.
I'm halfway through Raw right now, to be honest with you.
Out for quite a bit of time, but he's healthy, ready
I'm
to
looking
go,
forward to what's going to happen with this new belt. Save made by Stuart Skinner, 1 for 1.
LA gets its first chance. A lead pass for Hyman out of his reach, and a reset for the LA Kings, who have never beaten
Shots are 1-1 apiece.
taking game 1 of a playoff series.
How's about not calling a penalty in the first 2 minutes of the hockey game? That'll
including 2 of the last
keep
3
the
years.
flow going.
Anderson up to Trent Frederick. His second game back after re-injuring a lower body ailment when he came here during the regular season. Kings are able to pull it free. And on the move and fumbling it away is Kevin Fiala. Cleared by the Oilers' Emberson, and now Connor Brown will attack with Henrique. A shot sifted wide. Frederick's the third member of this line. Kulak pinching hard, having gotten some rest. Of course, he arrived on game day Monday, celebrating the birth of his baby girl. Scotland. Mikey Anderson up to Jeff Milan. The Kings going 11 forwards and 7 defensemen tonight. Jacob Moberari draws in. Alex Turcotte, who just completed his first full season in the NHL, takes a seat. Lifted in by Pitbull's and blocker to Hellenius by Kemper, and then backing his way out is Milan. He'll find Mikey Anderson. Chips it down low to Hellenius. His father also, Sammy, also.
That'll be icing against the Oilers.
This could be icing against Edmonton, and is whistled as such 3 minutes into our scoreless first period.
As we expected,
That's good. So what he's got, 27 dates? I'm going to say 27 dates. He wrestles in probably 5 of them.
You know he's going to be hitting people. He's going to be skating.
He does promos for the rest of them, but he wrestles in 5 of them. He'll wrestle at Backlash,
It's been a long time coming for him.
maybe wrestle at Survivor Series, and then wrestle at so Backlash, SummerSlam, maybe Survivor Series, and then the final one, Ruthless Aggression. You won't see him wrestle on Raw or SmackDown.
That's exactly what you want. Feeling some contact early.
It's the one thing you can control. You can get your
Honestly,
feet
I
moving,
don't
and
see
you can
him
take
wrestling at
a run at a
any
play,
of
and also
the
for Klingberg getting back in there in the well, taking
kind of
a hit
free
sometimes
shows.
is just as effective. Play the body, make sure you're protecting a puck, take a hit, and you got to feel yourself in that physical game. That's the way
I'm
you
just
get
glad to
yourself
see
into it.
Rusev
In the
back. That's
playoffs,
pretty
we've
cool.
talked about it before. Everybody hits, so be ready for it. And for Klingberg, this guy's been around for a while, and he's got ice running through his veins. And injected into the lineup here tonight for Chris Knobloch and the Oilers.
11-year pro, 8 in Dallas.
Wow, good drop of the puck there, linesman.
67 points one year and was outstanding.
Hey, Northern,
for the
how's it
Stars
going?
when they went to the Stanley Cup Final in the bubble in Edmonton in 2020. Vogel and Deneau after an offside call against the Kings. Flip kick by Deneau and played by Darnell Nurse off to Draisaitl. He took a hit to make the play, and here's Connor McDavid coming off a 4-point night. A shot blocked by Gowdy. Rebound, squirts free, and Anderson is there.
Hey, Bunny, how's it going?
Trevor Moore.
Welcome back, my friend. I saw you popped in here.
Evan Bouchard, kind of a star-crossed opener in game 1, had 3 assists, but also was on the ice for a couple goals against. Played in deep by Darnell.
Let's go
Nurse.
Oilers indeed.
Hyman to Nurse, and that high riser ended up on the plexi and clatters all the way back to center. Out of the reach of LaFerriere. Kings almost too many men, as jumping on there was Anderson, and that could have been a disaster. Here's Hyman. punished against the boards as he entered the zone. Kane looking to locate that puck. The Kings are able to wedge it safely back to center where Klingberg fires one to Kane. That was
called that offside,
4.5
man.
gone by in the first.
Well, John Klingberg's got some experience, and when I say he has ice running through his veins, he's a player that can play in the pressure. And this is in the Stanley Cup playoffs back in 2000.
Yeah, I think so too.
The Dallas Stars went all the way to the Stanley Cup final. He
Like,
scored some
it's
huge
not.
goals
This wasn't
in that
intended
series.
for
So stepping in
Cena
here
to be the title holder the entire time.
He's a veteran
I think it was just enough for him to say he has
He's
it.
going to have to get up to speed real quickly.
Or
But you expect him to kind of get his bearings pretty quickly.
do they bring a brand new belt for Cody and The Rock to fight over? This belt gets carried home with Cena, and they bring out a new belt. They keep talking about new era. Might as well have a new belt. But I love the words that John Cena used. Ruthless aggression.
At age 37, Andrei Kuzmenko.
I would love to see the pre-PG John Cena back. The Thugonomics rapper. Shots are 2-1 Edmonton. Nothing is the score. 15 minutes left to go in the first period. I'm living in a time machine, guys. It's second period. Oilers are up 3-1 with 15 minutes left to go in
Kings
it.
only played Clark 11 minutes, and Jordan Spence just 6, so they're going 7 defensemen tonight. They're spreading around. You've got Gavrikov and Spence, the pairing right now.
Speaking of defense, where's the Oilers D on that?
Immediately clear.
I think that had to do with the push in the third period, Jack, that the Edmonton Oilers were.
He had a 4-point night. Game 1, he's only going to have a 2-point night in Game 2. 2 points because that's all the Oilers are going to need is score 3 goals. Oilers win.
Lucia operating up top of the shot that does not make its way through. Blocked by Spence, knocked off Arvidsson's stick, and then Olsen couldn't get it cleanly on net. Spence, given time, is able to lift back through the middle. Elanius will peel off on a chain.
Hey Dan, how's it going? Let's see if I'm right. Write it down. Matt said 3-1 in the second period for the Oilers at the 15-minute mark. Let's see how correct this Jumbombo is.
McDavid just powering right into Doughty. Poke checked off Klingberg's stick, and when McDavid tried to cross seamer, it was broken up by Philip.
McDavid needs to stop those cross-seam passes, though.
Explode through Doughty.
Reverse hit.
That's not offside. Come on.
Zach Hyman frustrated by that whistle as it appeared Edmonton had something brewing.
Connor McDavid's wound up a couple of times. He knows that Drew Doughty's going
Offside,
to play
my
him
left
hard,
foot.
so he's ready for this hit. He explodes right into him here. Doughty weathered it pretty well, but this game's on.
The funny thing is the Kings fans were bitching about the cross-check Corey Perry did. But yet you're okay with the cross-checks and the slashes and pretty much blinding Skinner with this snow. Like, that to me should have been called. Like, I'm not a fan of Warren Fogle. I wasn't really a huge Warren Fogle guy when he was here. He was serviceable for the fourth line for what he was. Fourth line penalty killer. Oh, root beer sounds great. But honestly, overall, like, I think the Oilers are better without Fogle. But don't tell that to Oiler fans. They like their old people in their lineup. They like to reminisce about 2 years ago and last year. It's like I told a lot of people. So what happens tonight when the Oilers win Game 2? Go into Edmonton series tied, take Game 3. Are we going to get a bunch of people on the bandwagon again? I knew this team was going to do it. Stuart Skinner's such a good goalie. It's like, frick. Like, I've been chirping hard with the Flames Nation guys. You know, I miss Cody Ceci. If anybody, I miss Cody Ceci. But, oh, of course I saw the. That was great. Drew Doughty's in for a world of hurt if he thinks he's just going to bulldoze his way through today. I'm going to need to get water down here in about 10 minutes, man.
A lot of ways, but he scores
So
goals
dry down
simple
here.
as that. 18 goals. 12 goals, sorry, in 18 games versus
I get it, but
last 3 playoffs. He had 7 in the first year and 13 in those.
Blame those two
playoffs,
players
but
for not wanting to
against
re-sign.
LA, he's just been a force, and this is something Edmonton needs: the physicality, the straight north and south speed to get in on the forecheck, disrupt, but that scoring ability and that one shot that he possesses. He's always had that throughout his career. We always talk about the physicality.
No, exactly.
He's going to run people over. But when he gets a chance to shoot it, he can find
He's
the
killing it with the Stars
I have
because,
one
of course, he is.
critique there.
Shut
Where
down
was the
defenseman.
defining image of him holding up the number 7 when he scored the empty netter to put away Game 6? For me, Louis, that's the most memorable image of that entire series. Here's Kane winding it around. Klingberg hard rim up on the glass, and Kane settles it down. Back behind the net, Hyman on the backhand. Now shoots, and a save made by Kemper, who did not overcommit to that far post. And Kopitar will dangle it out. Grant Clark streaking in. Kuzmenko. Clark's drawn a penalty, and the puck pinballs wide.
So that's a penalty? Okay, ref. Okay. We see you, ref. We see you. Let's be consistent. Be consistent.
Well, this is part of it too for Evander Kane. He's a physical guy, and one thing
Evander
he's
Kane
looking
gets
to
a
do is
penalty
be
because
that
a guy
physical
turns his
presence. So when
back.
you're trying to
Guy turns his back on the play.
and be that
Protect yourself, you fucking pussy.
Check his tricks, Clark, as he's kind of spinning, and as he turns, he gets the cross check into the numbers, puts him down into the boards.
And
Fucking Christ.
arguing because of the spin as he was going into it.
And the fact that he was in a vulnerable position once he spun, it was a little bit of a pretty aggressive cross check. And listen, he's pretty excited to be back in the lineup.
So let's call the next one against LA for doing the same thing. Please, ref, be consistent. If you're going to be shit, be consistently shit.
Get the first power play in this one.
2 more than they had in the 5-game series last year when Edmonton outscored LA 9-0 on the power play. Here's Kevin Fiala off the draw. Kopitar. A couple of 5-on-3s for the Kings in game 1. This is a 5-on-4. Kuzmenko. Shadowed by Wallman and Nurse. Up top, Henrique and Nugent-Hopkins defend. Kopitar down low. Kuzmenko trying to center. That ended up underneath for a moment. Nurse.
That's such
and
garbage.
it's blown dead.
So you're not even caring that the guy put himself at risk. So if you're a player in this day in NHL, why don't you just skate your entire back to the wall, face to the wall every game? Don't even worry about the center of the ice. Just turn your back to the center of the ice. You're protected. You get hit, the ref's gonna call it. You don't need to worry about what's going on in the center of the ice.
Put this power play out there too often right now. They're feeling.
What a joke.
Trying a shot that was blocked. Kuzmenko and Kopitar sent out to Kempe. Looking at Fiala, instead giving it back Kopitar. Kuzmenko again through Nurse, and then a save on Byfield. Nurse is going belly down, mindful of that cross seamer to Kevin Fiala for the one-timer.
So many shooters on this power play for the Los Angeles Kings. They have so many options to move it around, and obviously Fiala is the guy they want to try and get to. At 35 goals in the regular season, Byfield has a real good look here in the slot. And it goes off the Nurse right to Byfield. He gets it away in a flash. And for Stuart Skinner in that third period in game number 1, he made some huge saves. And especially on the 5-on-3, they pelted him. And right there, another good one.
Look at who's on the ice here. Connor McDavid against Kopitar, giving LA something to think about with the 5 forwards on the power play unit. Potential counter-strike opportunity with McDavid out there joining Janmark instead of typically it'd be Connor Brown. Length of the ice clear. Janmark will change and be replaced by Brown. McDavid stays out there. Just giving LA something extra to think about. Here's Kopitar to Fiala. In over the line. Couldn't get a shot away. Take it away. And here comes Connor McDavid off the steal. Short-handed. Change of pace against Kemper. It's a one-timer save on Connor Brown by Darcy Kemper. And that's exactly what Chris Knobloch was looking to do. With that subtle shift in alignment, McDavid does not kill penalties typically.
And we saw that in game 1 late in the third period as they were trying to come back in the game. He was out there in a penalty-killing situation.
That's
And you're
offside,
right,
LA,
with
dum-dums.
forwards on the ice, it just favors McDavid. That was a great chance by Brown on the one-timer. And for McDavid, he gets into the zone. He doesn't challenge Kempe, and Kempe's a great skater. Gave him a pretty good lead and a buffer to allow McDavid to come into the zone. But he doesn't want him to beat him wide. So he backs up pretty deep, allows that back checker Moore to come back. Or Fiala, sorry. But that's where the late man, Brown, was open. Right in the middle. Everybody's funneling towards McDavid. And that one-timer, good save.
Dang, that's awesome.
Just to comment further, Louis, he was basically on the ice for about 3 minutes in total the entire season shorthanded. So it is a chance. Vogel to the net.
LA scores on the power play because, of course. What a fucking joke. Bullshit call.
Clark gets
Where's
to that
the other
blue paint.
defenseman
It's
helping
Deneau
that?
with a little backhand chip down the wall. Fogle beats Wallman, and then you're going to see Clark stop in front of the net. Get to the net, stop, bam. Beautiful.
Is that Skinner's fault? Well, I guess everybody's going to blame it on Skinner, right? Because Hawkins not doing his job.
5 goals.
The other defenseman not doing his job,
And
but
as we talked about, played limited minutes in game 1. Only 11 and a half. Punch forward by Corey Perry. It's a power play goal for the Kings. Just
another power play goal scored by the Kings.
Aimed off the side.
Hey, refs, you want to stop giving power plays to the team?
Perry, fresh off that last power play goal for LA. Bouchard to Perry. And now McDavid building speed through the neutral zone. Drop pass for Draisaitl, curled back to Kulak. One-timer, not much on it for Bouchard. Just guided in front, then a backhander stopped on McDavid by Kemper. McDavid working over his man behind the net. Kulak to Bouchard. LA fans wanted a cross-check against the Edmonton captain. Fiala won a battle against Draisaitl, and here comes Byfield with a soft chip behind the Edmonton defense.
That's not true, Dell. That's
Kulak against the boards. That's going to be called. High stick. Kevin Fiala at 9:50 of this first period.
go to the box, you idiot. Fucking score here, Edmonton. Just put him. Just score.
Pretty solid check
Just
here
fucking
by
score.
Fiala. He finishes on Warren Fogle. And here's a good battle, too, as you're going to see McDavid just hacking, whacking, cross-checking with Anderson. Those two have had battles. He gives them a couple back to the numbers, tries to get them out of harm's way. Here's the penalty as Fiala comes up with the shoulder. It was
You're screaming, ref, you suck. But yet you're okay with your team getting away with what they get away with. Fucking Kings fans, man.
Still the call.
On that replay, Louis, I didn't see the stick
I
make
didn't see the high
contact.
stick, but I saw certainly a high shoulder. And I think it was the right call.
Well, we saw an illegal check to the head in game 1.
Yeah.
So the Edmonton power play, 0 for 2 in Monday's game 1, and 4 for its last 37. But keep in mind, the bulk of that is without McDavid or Draisaitl or both. Draisaitl tied for second in the league with 16 power play goals during the regular year. As he won the Rocket Richard with 52 overall. Moved out of the circle. McDavid will take the draw. Hyman's going to be the net front presence. Nugent Hopkins and Bouchard rounding out off the draw. Anderson waits, gives it up to Gavrikov. That was a strange play. Put it into Gavrikov's feet. But Kopitar able to recover and clear back to center.
Fiala's stick did right up before the shoulder to the head, Jack. I was looking on the contact, but when he went to smack Kulak's stick, that's where he caught him with the high stick.
Nugent Hopkins gives it back to Bouchard. Now McDavid. Centering pass, what a save! And denied by Darcy Kemper. What a look! And somehow Kemper comes up with the goods. Some kind of save by Darcy Kemper on Zach Hyman, who scored late in game 1. Here's Bouchard. Hyman again. Bobbled briefly. Draisaitl gives it back to McDavid. Draisaitl peering inside, giving it out to Bouchard across Nugent Hopkins. Wires one, deflected wide, rebound, controlled eventually by LA, but not clear. Draisaitl will give it to Bouchard. Now Nugent Hopkins. Draisaitl banging.
Draisaitl's asking for the puck and Bouchard, and Hopkins looks him off.
Getting around Anderson initially. Anderson able to reel him in. McDavid powers through him, heads for the net. And that was guided by Kemper behind. A give to Bouchard. His shot does not make its way through. Lunging Gavrikov. Couldn't get it out. Hyman to McDavid. In front to Bouchard. Swing and a miss. Vogel might have gotten a piece.
Hopkins looks off Draisaitl twice.
From Skinner to Draisaitl. And Edmonton dashes right back into the zone.
And then Draisaitl gives the puck away.
Shot from distance handled by Skinner. He'll slide it into the corner with 15 seconds on the power play. Draisaitl and McDavid will change. Corey Perry has come on with Adam Henry, Evander Kane, Wallman, and Nurse. Perry will shoot it in. Taken by Kane. Around the boards to Jake Wallman. Back to Kane. He's handled the puck and cleared. Just as Fiala came out, raced for the puck, and Nurse will get back in time to draw the icing call against Los Angeles, but the Kings have scored on their power play, and Edmonton comes up empty.
This is the best chance of the power play right here. Great save in tight, and then for
I'm sorry, guys.
help from
Hawkins
on the
needs to
second
go, man.
opportunity off the left pad. It bounces right back.
You guys want to talk about Bouchard and you want to talk about Skinner, but nobody's talking about how bad Hawkins has been all fucking year.
The bench for the Los Angeles Kings, though, Jack. This is the most aggressive they've been in the penalty kill versus Edmonton. It hasn't worked the last 3 years not being aggressive. They're going for broke, and it's worked so far to disrupt a power play that they've had a lot of difficulty with.
But you said it. Gavrikov made a better save than Kemper did. That was in. Hyman's rebound would have been in. Fiala stays onside, drives it toward the Edmonton net, batted down by Nurse. The outlet for Jake Woolman. He'll pull it away from Fiala and look up ice.
I'm just saying, it's like we pick and choose as Oiler fans who to beat up on, but we're not beating up on the right people.
Denied entry by Nurse, and Edmonton a reset with 7 1/2 to play in the first period. Oilers have outshot the Kings 7-5, but now find themselves down 1-0. Power play goal by Clark with assist to Fogle and Philip Deneau, who had 2 goals, including the game winner in the final minute of game 1. The latest go-ahead goal in the history of the LA Kings postseason. Sammy Helenius starts up the right-hand side after an Edmonton dump in. Pass angled behind. Klingberg will take it.
Apparently that's not icing.
Klingberg able to fight through a check up the left-hand side. Kulak high, off the glass. Yanmark 2-on-1. Center pass broken. Gavrikov went belly down to deny. Puck pinned in the corner. 5 players strong. Held in by Kulak a second time for Yanmark, who got on the board in this series. In game 1, Klingberg behind the net, Victor Arvidsson. Spent the last 3 years in LA. Spence working him over. Behind the net, Yanmark. Klingberg a shot, save! Kemper a juicy rebound taken by LaFerriere. That's what Klingberg can do, though. His shots tend to have eyes. That one managed to get through. Klingberg again. Poulsen, but Poulsen wired one up top off the glass, handled by Kulak. Lifted down low. Arvidsson will let it go through for Yanmark. Chopped away, and LaFerriere took a punishing hit from the team leader in that category, Vasily Podkolzin, as he gets the clear.
Really good shift by Edmonton heading in. And you're right, Klingberg with a couple nice plays. The one shot on the one-timer and a little fake pass to set up Podkolzin.
They kept Gavrikov on the ice there for nearly 2 minutes. Here's Bouchard to steal at center. Waits for Hyman to tag back onside. Nugent Hopkins and Kane. Nugent Hopkins, a shot kicked away by...
Such a weak fucking wrist shot by Hawkins.
Floats free to Bouchard with space.
And then Bouchard gives the puck away.
To the inside, Byfield with the interception. Now streaking in his Kempe.
And there's Hawkins. No skating, right, Hopkins? No skating. Don't move your feet. Don't move your feet, young man. Just coast into the zone. No back check at all. I used to be proud of your 200-foot game. Where did that go? I'm sorry, but where the fuck did his 200-foot game go?
Only once in Edmonton's proud history have the Oilers recovered from an 0-2 series deficit.
Yeah, Klingberg's looking way better than what I thought he was going to look.
Against San Jose, so a lot at stake tonight. Fogle leads a 3-on-2. Drop pass and a shot by Moore.
Roman with a huge block.
Moore on that rebound, hunts it down. Edmondson flicks it over to Gavrikov, who will shoot it right back in. Moore spins off a check from Klingberg, but could not get through Trent Frederick.
Trent Frederick getting the shift here with Connor McDavid and Leon Draisaitl.
People say I'm too nice and I'm not negative. Well, I'll start to be negative. I'll start to lay in the players when I see it. If you're just coasting out there on the back check, it's not good enough.
McDavid and Draisaitl, who obviously are going to log more than 20 minutes. But Poulsen in from the left-hand side.
We can't have McDavid Draisaitl out there for 30 minutes of the fucking hockey game to win a game.
He'll shoot it in. Off the boards, taken by Kuzmenko, and he's immediately erased in the corner, and the Oilers come thundering back the other way. But Poulsen denied entry at the LA line.
Ty gets hooked on the play, no call.
Clark, who has the game's only goal, had his pocket picked.
Too many men on the ice by LA. Puck even hits both their feet. No call.
Slap shot and then a wrist shot that's blockered up behind the net by Kemper and finally snapped by Kopitar. And one-handed out smartly by Kempe past Darnell Nurse. Clark will take a skate off to Byfield. Vicious pace here in the first period. Brown will dump it behind the LA defense. And we've seen Edmonton pick up the pace, Louis, as compared to their pace in game one.
Totally different feel to this game, too, than game one. I mean, it is back and forth.
Byfield turned it over at the Edmonton line. Evander Kane stood up by Spence. He'll get it in deep. That's a size mismatch there. The diminutive Spence against the hulking Kane. Kulak waits and then smashes it right back into the offensive zone.
3 minutes left to go in the first period. 1-0 LA on the back of the power play goal. But I'm not mad about it because the Oilers got a power play. They did nothing on it. Unfortunately, because he had a guy out there named Hopkins that just refuses to pass the puck. Refuses to pass, but also refuses to shoot. I want to understand, if you can't pass the puck properly, at least shoot the fucking thing. But you don't even do that.
Trading the puck down low with Kulak and now Draisaitl. Ahead of steam, hits the line. McDavid will challenge Doubt. Back defensively. Klingberg looking, sending it across for Woolman. Draisaitl let it go back to Woolman. Pestered by Kopitar. Perry and Drag move to the middle. Couldn't get a shot off on two separate occasions.
Perry gets tackled by Kopitar. No stick. Tackle the player. That's perfectly legal. Oh, they actually called something! Holy fuck! You missed the tackle, but you get the trip!
But he'll also be going to the box here.
Corey Perry quickly trying to shuffle the guys away from getting involved in anything.
What a fucking joke!
On the power play. That's a veteran move right there.
Two-hand slash! That's completely legal, ref! And then he cross-checks him! What the fuck? That's cool, yeah. Good job, ref! But I bet you called the slash, not the trip. So fucking ignorant and stupid of it.
Ever feel like no matter what you've got, someone's got more? And someone's got more than that. More to spend. More places to go. And just when you think there couldn't possibly be any more and more, you realize there's more to life than more. You're richer than you think. Scotiabank.
If it's war, I want to win. This is do or die.
Make it worth it.
Endor Season 2, now streaming, only on Disney+.
Uh-oh. I don't think you're allowed inside the carts there, sweetie.
Oh, this is John Hamm's dog. That's his name, not Sweetie.
Cool, could you get him on my cart? This is really heavy.
Yeah, that's why you should never do this. You should have skipped it.
That's my cart.
Good goal! Yeah!
Sometimes it pays to be a bad fan. Every game is your game when you bet with Sports Interaction.
Tonight's Oilers Alberta Fights Cancer Playoffs 50-50, presented by Rogers, is in support of the Ben Stelter Foundation, Kids with Cancer Society, and Alberta Cancer Foundation. The jackpot over $1.15 million and climbing as playoff speeds right into so many multi-millions. Tickets are available anywhere in Alberta at EdmontonOilers.com/50-50.
Second power play of the game for Edmonton. Byfield in the box for tripping. And a second crack for the Oilers.
Yep, kick out Draisaitl from the face-off, Dot. Yep, completely legal face-off. Kick him out.
Tonight. One of those, Jacob Moverari, has not touched the ice as of yet. Off the draw, Anderson was bulldozed off the puck by McDavid. A fierce battle ensues behind, and eventually Draisaitl will give it up. One-timer Bouchard and a save, Darcy Kemper.
Again, a lot of pressure from Moore, and Bouchard still gets this puck through, win the battle behind the net, come up with the loose puck. And look how quickly Moore is to get right out into the lane on Bouchard. This is a great save by Kemper through that screen.
97 miles an hour on that heater from Evan Bouchard. Draisaitl wins the draw, punch back to Bouchard by McDavid. This time a wrist shot, pinballed around, and LA will successfully clear down the left-hand side. There will be about a 10-second differential in terms of power play time in the end of the period. LA up 1-0.
Minute 20 seconds left in the first period. Minute and a half left to go in the power play. Bouchard gets tripped by Deneau, and then Deneau starts beaking at the ref. Hey ref, why don't you call a penalty for beaking? You like to give them against the Oilers.
David Draisaitl didn't play together at all the last 14 games of the regular season. Here's Draisaitl. Snapped it across to Nugent Hopkins. Hyman take it down in front. Meanwhile, Bouchard, the pass off the heel of Nugent Hopkins' stick.
Hopkins can't receive a pass.
But neither he nor Anderson can achieve. And then a centering pass, Draisaitl broke it up. But Bouchard eventually able to get it to McDavid, the original intended target. Draisaitl. Nugent Hopkins gives it back to him.
Just shoot.
Draisaitl back to Nugent
No.
Hopkins and popped out of play. Active stick.
We're not shooting. We're just trying to pass it in the fucking net.
Sometimes it pays to be a bad fan. Every game is your game. You bet with Sports Interaction.
Philip Deneau and Evan Bouchard collide here at the line. For Bouchard, just trying to not go offside and maintain his ground. He gets tangled up with Deneau, and he didn't like the fact that he prevented him from going in. But Bouchard wisely got into that spot early, so therefore he's not stepping into his line. He's there already, which he's allowed to have that ice, and that's why there was no call. But that's that little pick at the line to allow a clean entry into the zone.
Kopitar wins the faceoff, whacked out of the zone by Edmondson, and Edmonton's going to have to hurry. One last push-up ice here in the first period. 15 seconds as Bouchard hits the LA blue line. Around Kopitar. Bothered, put it behind the net. Edmondson got it.
First period over. Oilers down 1-0.
First period. The Kings.
Fucking team, man. Fucking team. Sorry, guys. I'm not happy about that. Like, you cannot go down 1-0 on a fucking power play. What a fucking joke. It's 2-0 after the first period for LA after last game. 1-0 today, so I guess that's one better for Edmonton, but still not good enough. Yeah, I don't understand how the Oilers give up cross creases so fucking much. And you can't put that on Skinner. Like, if the cross crease, if the cross crease is 3 feet away, or 4 feet away, or 5 feet away, awesome, you can come across. But when the cross crease legitimately is half a foot away from the fucking goal line, no, the goalie cannot get there. And if you think he can, then you need to just... I love how it's people, well, he's got to be better lateral movement. You go be a goalie and try and stop a lateral cross crease that's already in the crease. The only way you save that is if you're already cheating the other way. Great, you're cheating the other way. Okay, you make that save. But guess what? The next time it happens, that pass isn't coming over. Because that guy that passed it the last time now has short side goal because you're cheating the other way. How's about our defense do their fucking jobs? Help their goaltender out one time. How about our forwards on the fucking defensive side? Do something to help out the defense. Nope, Skinner's fault. I said it's the worst when it's the Oilers fans fucking non-stop berating the team and the goalies. You wonder why nobody ever wants to play here. Newsflash for you Oilers fans, they read everything that goes online. You want a top-notch goalie? Huh. Good fucking luck. I'm okay. I'm just sick and tired of being berated and like getting called out and just... It's stupid that we're in Oiler chats and all we're reading is Skinner sucks, Skinner sucks, Skinner sucks. This team is going out in 4. Skinner sucks. Bouchard sucks. But there's no accountability for the forwards that don't back check. What are you talking about, Joe? For Stuart Skinner to make that save? He shouldn't have to. It shouldn't have to be that close of a cross crease. If the 4 guys on the PK are doing their jobs, it shouldn't get to that point. I'm just sick and tired of everybody piling on Stuart Skinner like it's his fault. If it's a shot from the point, no screen, and it goes through you, yeah, that's your fault. Make that save. If it's a shot from the circle, no screen, and it just goes through you, yeah, that's you. That's on you. Make that save. But if it's a cross crease and the puck is cross crease in front of your crease, where's that defenseman stopping that from even getting that far? You should never give up your zone to the point where it's a 2-on-1, 3 feet in front of your net. Yeah, no, they absolutely do. What more was Nurse supposed to do there? He tried to block the pass. But where's the other defenseman helping out on that PK? Like right here, Hopkins, you're already beat. You're already dead to rights. And then you stop skating. Janmark has this guy and then he lets him go. The guy that scored was Janmark's guy. He let him go. No, you continue moving your feet and skate with them. You're taught that in Pee Wee hockey. You take a number, you've got that guy in your zone. As a penalty killer, you've got that guy to the net. No questions asked. I still have faith the Oilers are going to come back and win this game, but seeing that is just completely unacceptable. If you've got 2 forwards there, Just too many of the older forwards are not back checking and not playing a 200-foot game. You cannot, will not, and never will win a playoff hockey game without playing 200 feet. Oilers have had 2 power plays and they've done nothing on them. Maybe it's time to get Hopkins off the power play. Like, he's not helping you out there. The first overall was good. Again, you can play 17 great minutes of hockey. But if you let go of the pedal, oh, that's awesome, Janice. That's awesome. But no, honestly, like, you're out there, like, you can have 18 and a half good minutes, but if you have a minute and a half of what am I doing out here, I'm a draft on skates, it's not good enough. Way better first period than the last game. Absolutely. Way better. I'm happy to see that. I'm happy to see that it's a better first period. Way better. It's just the little things need to be cleaned up. In my eyes, the little things need to be cleaned up a lot. Yeah, you're not wrong, Janice. They are a good team at that. But that used to be something the Oilers were good at too. I'm expecting big things in period 2 as well. Like, I'm sorry, guys, I shouldn't let what's going on the outside affect the inside. Sometimes when you just get online and you just want to check something out and all it is just bashing and bashing and hate and bash and hate and bash. Like I said, I expect it from other fan bases. I expect it from the idiots at Flames Nation who don't know what a playoff run is. I expect it from those 3 bums. I expect those 3 dardars to talk shit about the Oilers. But when it's our own fan base, constantly, and I will be honest with you, and I will be 100% transparent. If you don't think that what is said online by our fan base doesn't get to the players, you're not paying attention. If you don't think is what is said on our Facebook feeds, Twitter feeds, even worse on TikTok, you know what I mean? I will be 100% transparent. Them themselves may not be reading it, but they're hearing about it secondhand from a family member, from a friend. So you ask yourself, you want a big name goalie to come to Edmonton. Okay. How much money are you willing to spend? You want to replace Stuart Skinner. How much money are you willing to spend? Now keep in mind, you spend that money, you no longer have that money to re-sign top-end talent in the forward group or defensive group. As a family member of mine that played in the NHL, and as I have friends that are playing in the NHL right now, I can guarantee you they see and hear everything that's said about them. Good, bad. And you know what the worst part? I won't even say the good. I'll tell you this right now. The NHL players, they don't see the good stuff that's said. You could write 100 posts about how great Stuart Skinner is, how great McDavid is, how great Draisaitl is, how good Evan Bouchard was for 5 minutes. But you write one comment bashing said player daily. You could write 15 articles a day and have 12 of them be good and 3 of them be bad. Those 3 articles per day will get back to that player. Not the 12 good ones, but those 3 negative ones will. So that's why I tell people, please, they don't. That's the problem, Dal. They don't. But their spouses do. Their parents do. Their friends do. They will never say anything about it. But when they're negotiating a contract to stay with the team, our opinions of them weighs on their contract numbers. What we say about them weighs on what they think of the city. You look at the New York Rangers right now. Look at the Vancouver Canucks right now. Everybody wants out of the Rangers. Everybody wants out of Vancouver. And I hate that the Canadian fan bases are the worst. Like, it's getting to the point where the Oilers fan base seems like they're entitled. Like they're owed long cup runs. Well, fair point. Fair point, Joe. Fair point. I'm touche. Tip of the cap to you, sir. I needed that, bud. You're awesome. No, but honestly, like, I've come to realize that the Oiler fan base online is probably the worst fan base in the NHL. I don't know how we got here. Like, I don't know how we got here. It feels like we're spoiled, entitled kids that, oh, well, we've got Connor McDavid, we got Leon Draisaitl. We're owed. We're owed going to round 3 every year. This team owes us. We spend $10,000 a year on season tickets. This team owes us having a good team on the ice. Brings me to a point, like, there is a point to all this. I was watching an NBA interview with an NBA dad, and he said that his son owes him a brand new car. His son owes him a house. His son owes him monthly money. And the podcaster's like, what do you mean your son owes you? Well, it's because I sacrificed my life when he was younger to get him to all the training, to get him to all the 6 a.m. practices, to get him to be this good, to make the NBA. Now that he's made money, he owes me now. You ain't owed shit. You did it because you're a father that cares about his son. And that's the way I feel about with the Oilers fans. It feels like we're the fathers that raised this son through the decade of darkness. And now we're here, and now we're owed. We aren't owed shit. I am worried if this team doesn't win the first round of the playoffs, what this team is going to look like next year. Hopefully I don't have to worry about it and we get out of it. But I know one of two things are certain. Draisaitl's here, McDavid's here, Hyman's here, Hopkins is here. And you know what? And there's not a problem with caring. There's not a problem with caring too much. That's what we're supposed to do. That is what a fan is. Fan is short term for fanatic. That's exactly what a fan does. A fan is supposed to care too much. At the end of the day, we are the bosses of the Edmonton Oilers. Whether you want to agree with this or not, the players are the commodity. Right? Let's say that you work at McDonald's, or you own McDonald's if you're grateful enough to do that. You own the burgers. The burgers get sent out.
What they were doing the last 3 years just wasn't working.
The players are like the burgers. They come, they go.
Power play from the first period, and off the draw, and trickles free to Doughty.
Players don't have stake in this team.
Right by backup goaltender.
They're a commodity. They know they can be traded at a moment's notice.
But now just
so they will never care as much as fans do.
In the penalty to Quentin Byfield.
That's awesome.
Still 5-on-5. An impressive period turned in by Edmonton. Nothing to show for it, though. Off the draw. McDavid swoops in. Byfield's out of the box. Centering pass. And that was deflected right to Perry, who one time did high and wide. Puck wouldn't settle down for him. Here's McDavid attacking again. Into the middle, though, extracted off his stick, and it's Byfield fresh out of the box to Trevor Moore. Darnell Nurse able to stand him up as Moore.
What gets my goat is last game Stuart Skinner made a cross-crease wraparound save. And fans said, oh, that wasn't a save. It fell off of the player's stick. It slipped off the player's stick.
Draisaitl curled it back, no one home. Nurse had vacated the point position and streaking over to make
No, that's cool, Joe. Dude, that's your thing. I love it. Dude, that's your thing. I'm not upset by that. Like, hey, we all have people, villains in our lives. Peter Ciccarelli was offside, apparently.
Late to recognize, he'll peel back and touch up.
Peter Chiapet was my guy that I picked on all the time.
From the red line. Skinner directing traffic. Wallman off to Klingberg, the outlet to Evander Kane. His pass and turn deflected away from Hyman, who drove it behind Edmondson, cleared by Clark, the man who was accounted for the game's only goal. Tucking home a power play feed from Warren Fogle.
Yeah, that's right.
Klingberg misfires on a pass intended for
That's
Kane.
icing
That should be
against the
whistled
Oilers.
down for icing, and is.
Aye.
This is our game. Rogers, Canada's home of hockey.
Well, you hear so often the opposition talk about getting to Connor McDavid right when he gets the puck, and this is why. If he has a little bit of time and space, he can turn back so quickly. Now, this puck rolled off of his stick as he turned back on Doughty. He was trying to close him off. He faked like he was going to go around the net, and immediately he was in the front.
Fiala off the draw, out of the reach of Byfield. LaFerriere able to brush it away from Kulak, and now Byfield engaged in a fierce battle with Janmark, but his entry broken up, and Arvidsson able to nudge it toward the line. Byfield got jackknifed over the boards by a hit from Evander Kane, who hops off as the Oilers try to catch the Kings in transition. Long change, remember, in the second period. Here's Philip Deneau in the middle. Wrist shot, Fiala blocked by Klingberg. Stayed in the lane, and Arvidsson. Feathers one
Offside there by the Oilers again.
Offside in the middle, I believe. Janmark, the guilty party. Well, this election, CBC News is here to help make sense of it all, live when you need us and on demand when you want us. Everywhere you get CBC News.
Quentin Byfield shaking off that hit from Evander Kane. This had a little extra on as he puts him right over the boards. He did stay on the bench, and just shaking it off, but for Evander Kane, saw his opportunity, tried to finish one of the top players
Come on,
in the game.
Oilers, let's get a freaking goal here.
Edmondson up to Kuzmenko, and that ends up ricocheting into about the 8th row.
And you know, for Quinton Byfield, we've seen him grow in the last 4 years. He only played 2 games 4 years ago in the matchup, in the 7-game matchup versus Edmonton, but each and every year he's gotten a little bit better, and he's a target. He's one of those players for Edmonton. They know they have to take his time and space away. He's a big guy at 6'5", 225, and he felt that last hit from Kane.
Moved to center full-time this year, Louis, and I think that's added to LA's balance and flexibility among its top 9.
Jim Hiller feels comfortable playing all top 3 lines against the opposition's best, and he did it in game number 1. All 3 found their time out there with both McDavid, Draisaitl, and when they were put together late in the game to try and come back, they all played against them again. It was Deneau that had the most time against McDavid and Draisaitl as a tandem.
Jabbing at the puck, Adrian Kempe, who's been held in check thus far tonight. Henrique out of the reach of Connor Brown. Edmondson able to gather and golf one through the neutral zone. That'll be settled by Kulak. Across to Ty Emberson. Back to Kulak. He'll gain the line.
That's offside. I didn't think they scored.
That shot tipped out of play by Edmondson. And now some rough stuff as Henrique crowding that LA net, and the Kings trying to reel him out of there.
Yeah, it was Henrique with Clark, and Clark just kind of tangled him up as he was coming into the net, tried to give him a cross-check to separate, and Clark hung on to him. Trent Frederick, known for this kind of stuff as well, and why Edmonton went out and acquired him from the Boston Bruins, a big physical guy, and you're going to see Clark kind of stand up here, and then Henrique gives him a shot back, and everybody comes in. Cooler heads prevail.
Well, they're trying to protect their goaltender, Darcy Kemper, as they did in the regular season finale. Remember, Louis, with about 11 minutes to go, they pulled Kemper, even though he was well on his way to what would have been his 2nd consecutive shutout of the Oilers, because they felt it was a physical game and didn't want Kemper getting run. Up the right-hand side, Kemper did have 5 shutouts during the regular season. And top 3 across the board in all categories: goals against, save percentage. And if you love the advanced statistic, he was first in goals saved above expected, even better than Hellebuck in that category. Here's Bouchard with the stick of Deneau trapped in his feet. He's able to get away from that and go back toward him. McDavid just missed it. Here's Draisaitl, wide open. Bouchard doesn't shoot. Hands off to Draisaitl instead.
We're not even
Puts the
shooting, we're
brakes
just
on against
passing.
Deneau. McDavid rolls up top. Spins on Anderson, who does a nice job of staying with it. Fed along to Bouchard. One touch a little behind Darnell Nurse. And Trevor Moore has possession.
So much passing. Nothing, just passing.
Right in front. Vogel a backhander off the rush. Guided aside by Stuart Skinner. Here's Byfield against Bouchard. I also thought he could have probably kicked away that stick of Philip Deneau and gotten away with it. Here's Byfield. Comes free. Shoots and scores.
Fuck off.
On Stuart Skinner. 2-0 Kings.
Fuck this Oilers team.
Every
Fuck
single
this
year,
fucking team, man.
and much more responsibility this
Bouchard
year.
and Nurse shouldn't be out there.
Such a strong season, and this is just again the forecheck and pressure. Draisaitl
What the fuck you
on the
doing,
wall,
man?
trying to get that puck out, and Byfield's there quick. Second man quick to scoop up this loose puck. As Gavrikov comes down, separates it, and Byfield, nice little fake, and then upstairs. I mean, he puts this short side, gets a little tick off the left shoulder of Stuart Skinner. Draisaitl with the hard finish, that puck goes through, and Quinton Byfield pounced on it.
Now, Louis Bouchard there, if he goes at Byfield, he opens up the possibility of the backdoor tapping, correct?
2-on-1. Right? That's a short pass.
2-on-1 again.
If it gets across, it's going to be almost an impossible save for a goaltender if it's elevated, because you know he's going to slide across down the ice. But what a finish by Byfield. And because it happened so quick, I think he's frozen there too. He's got to make that decision under pressure, under quickness. He decided to take the 2-on-1 away, and Byfield give him credit.
This defense needs to be better.
Jake Walden, a dart up the right-hand side.
Draisaitl and McDavid need to shoot the puck.
Going to get a shot away on Mulaney.
Stop fucking passing it.
That pinball to Kane didn't get much on it. And now Clark down the middle, but Kane, a good recovery to break it up. Eventually,
Stop fucking passing the puck.
handled by Stuart Skinner. He'll toss
You had
off the
5
boards to
opportunities to
Kane.
shoot on that
Checked away
shift.
from him by
And
Deneau.
you just passed it around the perimeter like
Anderson
a
will
bunch
give
of...
it back to Kulak. So 2-0 Los Angeles. Arvidsson flipped it in deep.
You need to split up McDavid.
Against Drew Doughty. Powers inside.
You need to split up McDavid and Draisaitl because Hopkins can't carry his own line. Put Hopkins back up with McDavid. He can't carry his own line. Put him back up as a fucking winger.
Something the Los Angeles Kings have done well in the first 2 games.
Nurse is just watching the puck. Hey, oh yeah, that's the puck I'm supposed to be going after. I don't know, guys. Like,
Louis went the first 10
guess resting everybody for 14 games was a bad idea.
They don't have a shot through nearly 6 minutes of the second period tonight.
Interesting, because it's been their strongest period
all season long, no question. Kempe able to win the face-off, bumped up the right-hand side and fired back in by Emerson. Kemper will knock it down up the left-hand side. Gavrikov stopped. Here's a cross-icer from Podkolzin, then slapped back into traffic.
You're not wrong here.
Arvidsson had it nudged away. Maybe a 2-on-1 for the Kings.
Another 2-on-1 break for LA. Do the Oilers get very many 2-on-1s? No, it's all LA. And now we got a penalty coming against the Oilers.
Yeah, for Victor Arvidsson, when you're coming from low to high and you start to close off this pass to your defenseman, it gets more and more dangerous to try and make this play under pressure. It gets turned over and leads to the outnumbered rush. And for Kopitar, he just couldn't handle it. Here's the penalty on the backtrack, and for...
I don't know, man. I don't know, ladies and gentlemen. I'm trying to be positive, but this team right now is just... I guess having 14 days off for your top stars wasn't a good idea. No, this isn't the period I ordered either, man, but this period we get. Although if the Oilers kill this, they're still in the game. There's still lots of game left. If the Oilers kill this, it's lots of time to come back. But what do you do if you're McDavid? That's a serious question I'm asking people. What do you do if you're Connor McDavid, knowing that your contract is up at the end of this year?
On the PK.
Knowing that you're going to sign here.
Thus far, 3 for 6 in the series.
But you give a list of demands?
In last year's first round, clear by Nurse off the draw. He's out there with Wallman, Henrique, and Nugent Hopkins.
I think you got to put Wallman with either Nurse or Bouchard. My best guess is put Wallman with Bouchard, Kulak with Nurse. And it's going to have to work. Emerson and Klingberg, that's going to have to work.
There's 90 seconds to go on this Los Angeles power play. Kempe to Kopitar, quick one touch over to Byfield. Kopitar brings it across the line to Fiala. But Colson and Emberson run at him. Brown and Kulak out there as well for the Oilers. It's Kopitar. Up top to Kempe. Kopitar. Kempe. Slap pass Kuzmenko. Dishes. Fiala yielded off the side of the net. Skinner down and out. Fiala almost banked it off. But the Oilers come up ice and an interference call coming against Kempe as he took down Colson, who wanted to create a 2-on-2 going the other way shorthanded.
Yeah,
I
no
better
question
wake this
about this
fucking
one.
team
This
up.
was
Wake the fuck up,
a puck that
Edmonton.
came right through the blue paint again, and Kempe just recognizing this could be an outnumbered rush with Podkolzin trying to get in his horse and activate. Just gets tangled up with him. Here's the play here by Fiala. Tries to bank it off of Skinner as he's down and right there. I mean, it's a pretty solid check. I mean,
That's not tangled
there was
up.
no argument. I thought they just fell down and clipped each other, but that was a pretty good shoulder into Podkolzin, who's a pretty solid guy.
They call that the
He
old
got his
cross
full 2
body
minutes
block.
worth on that one.
Face off coming to Kemper's left-hand side.
Wow.
12:47 to go in the period. So 4-on-4 for a minute, and then the Oilers will get an abbreviated power play.
Bring in Picard for what?
Philip Deneau. 4-on-4 has been kind to Edmonton all year long. The Oilers have
But that's where you're
outscored
wrong,
the
Joe. The
Oilers
farm
5
team isn't
in
disarray. The farm team is actually looking good moving
He's
forward.
able to peel it off.
We've got some of the best prospects coming up now.
County locates. Here's Trevor Moore.
Well, that's where I disagree with you as somebody that does follow the farm system. Not just Bakersfield, but I follow the Comets and I follow who's in the WHL, who's in the OHL, who's playing in overseas. And I got to disagree with you, man. The farm system is fine. We are not depleted. We are not bad. The crop coming next year, not this year, but the next year, will be okay. But we all have opinions. If
Gavrikov and Fogle,
excuse me,
official.
McDavid knows what's coming.
on the
McDavid
Byfield
knows
goal.
what's going on.
Fogle's assisted on both LA
I'm just in a mood
goals.
right now. He's not leaving. He's going to re-sign a contract for 8 years, 16 to 17 million. But he's going to want a better defensive core.
We approach the midway point of the contest. Klingberg to Kane, dragged across the line. Klingberg activated, surveying and dishing off. Woolman cut off in the corner. Klingberg
13 seconds left to go, 4-on-4. And then the Oilers will have an abbreviated power play.
From Adam Henrique by Deneau.
Score on it. Just score on it. You did your job. You killed the penalty.
Woolman stays out there. Corey Perry sends it up to Draisaitl. He and McDavid over the line. Woolman a shot.
That's what you need. You need that.
By Darcy Kemper, and that's
You
the
need
first
that
shot
offensive
on net
zone
for
face-off.
Edmonton.
Get
More
your
than
guys
8
out there,
minutes
offensive
into
zone
the
face-off.
second period.
Watch the eyes of Philip Deneau here as you'll see he's watching the hand of the linesman as he's dropping this puck. And a good lesson for young players. Don't watch the ice, watch the hand. You'll know exactly when that puck's going to be dropped. Here's that wrister.
Wait, I can just tell you what I know, Joe. I know that there's lots coming through the cupboard that we can be excited about.
So now
But
you've got
we hear all the pungents. Oh, the Oilers have the worst prospects in the NHL. The Oilers have this. The Oilers have that. It's not true at all. Draisaitl gets chopped down by Anderson. No call on the play. Two-hand slash Anderson back of the leg. No call.
Bouchard to Perry. Draisaitl. Across to Nugent Hopkins, live hop off the dashers.
Nugent Hopkins can't control the pass. That's fucking new.
Conservatively chips it behind Bouchard, and Edmonton has time for one last rush on the man advantage. Bouchard knows he has McDavid coming, gives it to him. McDavid blazes across the wall. Edmonton has to reset. Draisaitl steps across the line on the feed from Bouchard and gives it back to him. Bouchard to McDavid in the slot. Tipped away from Draisaitl. And Edmonton comes away with nothing. 0 for 3 on the power play tonight, 0 for 5 in the series. And now that puck came out of play with 10:39 to go.
Couple great defensive plays. Here's what happened to McDavid. We call that the separator right there by Anderson as he lifts the stick up and no penalty on the play.
It's worse than I thought. He fucking two-hand sticked him to the fucking nuts. How do you not call that as an NHL fucking ref? How do you not call that? How do you not call when somebody's stick goes up between another player's ass? This is what happens when you have AHL fucking flameouts that have never reffed a game in their lives reffing in the NHL.
Throughout that postseason, Louis, you felt
There's a system in the NHL that's broken.
because that's a painful injury that does
75% of the refs in the league right now have never reffed a game in their lives before they came to the NHL reffing.
Still up 2-0. Shimmying is Kuzmenko against Trent Frederick. He'll take him to the net. Nudged free, still loose.
And a power play for LA. Good job, ref.
I think he has, and good work individually.
Don't call a stick in the nuts, though.
Moving his feet. Yeah, it looks like Trent Frederick's going to head to the box here. He had a stick on the ice initially, but once Kuzmenko brought this to the net, that's when he digs into the old can opener. Pry against the body, try and lift the stick. You're going to see him kind of dig in one last time right there under the hands, and that's when he's called.
So you saw that, but you didn't see the stick to the nuts.
Great move by Kuzmenko, though. So good with the puck on his stick, and he just has that mentality to want to challenge. He challenges Frederick there, gets it to the net, and draws the call.
Third power play of the night for LA. Louis, this seems like a fairly seismic moment in this game in terms of Edmonton needing to kill this one off.
Massive.
I don't get it, man.
Has been outstanding.
I don't get it. But if you, and I'm not lying when I say this, you can fact check me all you want. 75% of the referees in the NHL are AHL washouts because they were not good enough to play in the NHL, but they had the speed. They had the speed, and the NHL said, "Oh, you've got hockey knowledge. You can keep up with the NHL space. You be a ref." Well, I've never reffed a day in my life. It doesn't matter. Although there's referees in the CHL, international hockey, that have reffed their entire fucking lives that don't get this opportunity to ref in the NHL. But hey, let's give it to AHL dropouts who don't like certain teams and don't like certain players because they played with them.
That one dents the bar. And then some nice movement here. One chance in the backhand, looking for backdoor Fiala. And that one there on the short side denied. And you can see Stuart Skinner just trying to maintain that position on the post. Does a nice job.
That was the inside of the goalpost. Fiala almost fell off the draw. Here's Kempe shooting into the glove of Stuart Skinner, who makes his 14th save of the night. Some extra posturing in front, Louis, as again, it's starting to get nasty down low.
Especially Byfield. You know, Byfield's been hanging around the net, and, you know, for Edmonton, getting a little testy with players jabbing away at Stuart Skinner. He played his best in the third period of game number 1 of the 5-on-3, and they pelted him similar to
What are you saying, ref? You sunk.
They're shooting the puck, and they're finding ways to get it there.
It should be conflict of interest, but...
And then the little stop, I think, in front of him by Byfield is what brought in the cavalry to say, hey, get out of here.
Now, not even halfway through the power play, Connor McDavid has come on to join Nugent Hopkins. So again,
the NHL doesn't care.
In desperation with the Oilers down in game 1. Here
The
we're seeing it as a
NHL doesn't
thing
care.
to give LA something to think about. So you've got McDavid and Nugent Hopkins out there with Nurse and Walton, setting up his Fiala.
They care about money, and that's it.
Kopitar to Kempe on top of drive line.
3-0 LA. Good job, ref.
Puts it home. Power play goal LA. It's 3-0.
The NHL refs are worse by far.
The Los Angeles Kings giving the Edmonton Oilers a little taste of their own medicine from the last 3 playoffs.
Can you imagine if you called that stick to the fucking nuts?
Right now. This is the 4th of the series already in the second period of game 2, and it's Adrian Kempe who's the catalyst here. 5 forwards on this power play and a shot mentality. He rang the bar in the first one that he blasted.
It is what it is, folks. You can only beat the refs for so long before it comes back to you.
The entire series.
But whoever said it right. You can't win a series in 2. It's not a series till you lose the home game.
And that's knowing your own rink a little bit with a live hop off the bashers right to Kuzmenko. And now the Oilers find themselves in a world of hurt, trailing 3-0. With the Kings looking to hold serve at home. Turned over at center, but then regained by Philip Deneau. And he'll enter the zone. Edmonton just 1 shot in 11 minutes thus far here in the second period. Evander Kane up to Draisaitl. Taken away. Right now you've got Draisaitl,
You would think they would.
Kane, and Hyman out there. Hyman poked off the puck. Kings on it. LaFerriere will dump it in. LA went up 4-0 in game 1. They're up 3-0
LA.
tonight in game 2.
Huge part of that is refs just don't give a shit.
Kopitar will pick up his 100th career point in the Stanley Cup playoffs on that power play goal by Kuzmenko. Kempe
Makes for a good story, though, right?
Vogel tosses it up the right-hand side, out of the reach of Byfield, tracked by Nurse.
Makes for a good story, though.
Hockey League debut in this building 11 years ago. Taken away from Vogel and lifted up the right-hand side, settled by Edmondson. It was the fall of 2014. Kings were off their second cup. Here's Yanmark swooping in behind the net. Dropping it on, Podkolzin. Shot from Bouchard wide. Another live hop off the end boards. Podkolzin. Arvidsson. And he floated one on that short side. Kemper was able to knock that one down. LaFerriere could not scoot it out. Here's Yanmark to Podkolzin. Thrust up to Bouchard. Over to Nurse. Cross ice. One-timer Bouchard kick save Kemper. And the rebound calmly cleared by Kevin Fiala. Kings will try to get it changed.
No epic. None of this is on Skinner. 2 power play goals.
To Los Angeles to shuffle the deck. Bouchard up to Henry.
You might have to, just for the sake of doing it.
7 and change remaining in the second period, and Andrei Kuzmenko, who had 3 points in game 1.
Honestly, I don't care what goes on in this game. Just don't lose game 3. I still have faith this team comes back and wins the game. The story writes itself. Oilers lose first 2 of the series. Go back to Edmonton, put 7 goals on the Kings. Win game 3. Win game 4 in a close shutout. 2-0. Go back to LA, series tied. Oilers win game 5 in overtime. Go back to Edmonton to close out the series in a blowout win 7-2. It's the script I would write. Everybody counting out the Oilers down 2-0 to the LA Kings. Nobody's putting spec on their names. Nobody wants them to win. No, he wouldn't. Epic, stop that, please. I'm going to hurt some feelings here, and I don't fucking care. Stuart Skinner's not going anywhere. For you dummies that think Stuart Skinner's going somewhere, shut the fuck up. I'm sorry, but I've heard it all fucking day. I've heard it for the last 6 months. Good night, shut up. Like, the Leafs, for all you know, the Leafs could lose 2 in Ottawa. And before you know it, you're panicking. And even if they get out of round 1, they're done in 4 in round 2 against Florida. Or Tampa. So sick of the fucking stupidity sometimes. Anybody who thinks Stuart Skinner's going anywhere before his contract is up, give your head a shake. What money and what assets are we trading to get a top-notch goalie that wants to play in Edmonton?
It's paid off so far.
And after a couple of weeks of just settling in,
And it's just going to get worse with all the tariffs that we have to deal with. So good luck with that. Here's some insider trading. This is going to be the worst offseason for Canadian teams in NHL history.
They've been the two most productive Kings.
That includes the Toronto Maple Leafs, the Ottawa Senators, the Montreal Canadiens, the Vancouver Canucks, the Calgary Flames. I hate to tell you, not happening. The tariffs and the money that's costing to live in Canada, players aren't going to take that pay cut to come to Canada next year. Sorry.
That in game one to come
facts
back
be facts.
5-5. They did it a couple of years ago against the Kings down in the series right here in this building, and they won that game. And the Los Angeles Kings know it.
McDavid to Perry, his shot, that missed short side, rebound off the glass, Jake Wolf. Top line has LA hemmed in here. Looking to get on the board late in the second period as they did in game one. Draisaitl, McDavid trade down low. Kopitar puts it up the boards. Good seal to maintain by Klingberg. Digs it out of the skates of Kuzmenko. Cuts to the middle. Loads and fires.
Scores! Draisaitl! Quit betting money on the Oilers, dummy.
On Draisaitl's second of the series.
Quit betting on the Oilers, because every time you bet on somebody, they
see him on
lose.
the bench. He was not happy, and when the anger boiled over, they loaded up the top line. McDavid to Draisaitl. And it's Leon Draisaitl once again. Goes out, gets himself to the spot.
But that's your strategy, isn't
And a
it?
nice little
Good night.
redirection on the shot.
That's your fucking strategy. Bet on the Oilers to lose. Bet on the Oilers to win so when they lose, you can make yourself feel better. Yeah, you're out of money, but clearly you're living in it. Clearly you're a multi-millionaire. You don't care about money. People are struggling everywhere in the world, and you're fucking betting on sports.
And putting it right where it needs to go.
In his heyday,
Just to lose money.
He was one of the best passing defensemen, best shot passers in the league, and you saw it right there. And for Leon Draisaitl now, the most playoff goals in Oiler history against the Los Angeles Kings with that goal to make it 3-1. He's jumping over Sasatikina.
Yeah, 19 and 20 for Leon Draisaitl. 19 goals in 20 games. 5.5 to go second
fucking
period.
pathetic
Those are
people
Louis
just
DeBrusque, London Knights.
Throw money away
stats is
just
what
because they
those
can.
are. It's 3.
And it's probably not even your fucking money. No, if we lose this game, we're not done. It's just going to be a really big mountain instead of a small molehill. It's going to be freaking Mount Everest, but hey. I'm sorry, it's just... I purposely think you're betting on the Oilers because you lose when you bet against the Oilers. Why be worried, Bunny? I wouldn't be worried. I'd be more worried about your Blues team. But again, all St. Louis has to do is win the game at home. Like, this is the thing that I keep telling people. St. Louis just has to win Game 3. And that series is far from over. Ottawa just has to win Game 3. And that series is far from over. Oilers win Game 3, that series is far from over. Montreal just needs to win Game 3. Just don't lose at home. That's the key about playoffs, just don't lose the first game at home. If you lose on the road, don't lose the first game at home.
And he finds the big paddle, Leon Draisaitl, out of the corner to the front of the net, and it's Draisaitl once again that gets his team on the board first.
Draisaitl now has points in 16 straight games against Los Angeles. Forget the Kings. That's the third longest streak against any playoff opponent in the history of the game. The only two players with longer streaks against any opponent, Messier and Gretzky. When you don't need first names, you're in heady company. Here's LaFerriere, drilled by Trent Frederick. Edmonton still trails 3-1.
Sorry, buddy. I shouldn't be picking on you. I shouldn't be, like I said, I shouldn't be taking out what's going on in my life personally on anybody, and I am, so I apologize.
That was going to be an icing call. Byfield directs around the boards to LaFerriere, and now whistled wide by Kevin Fiala. Dashing over to make a play on it is Brent Clark. Byfield pulls it away from Darnell Nurse, trapped by Evan Bouchard. Put it down low for Fiala, swung it in front. Deflected back to Fiala, turns, dishes off, Byfield. Nothing on the interior, a blast from Doughty, redirected wide. Coming up with it is Henrique, lays it off the boards, Doughty will settle it down. Henrique given a second chance, doesn't get it out. Byfield shoots, and that's wide. Stuart Skinner through heavy traffic. The Oilers have had a chance to get it out a couple times and can't get it done. So it's Fiala. Behind the net for Deneau. Back to Fiala. Rolled through it. Mikey Anderson. Back to Deneau. Anderson. Calling for it. Doughty. No shot. Anderson looks. It's Deneau. Doughty. A drive and a save made by Skinner. He'll put that puck to rest with 4 minutes to go in the period. And LA still up 3-1.
Good shift by the Kings. Couple good chances. A defensive play to deny Fiala with a good chance. Stuart Skinner's got a long skate back to the bench here in the second period. Drew Doughty takes the opportunity to give him a little bit of noise and plant a seed in his ear. Hey, we're going to get a few more on you. I mean, at least that's what I think he's saying to him, to try and get into his grill. Evander Kane sees it, comes over, says something to the bench. And Jeff Malott comes off the LA bench and says, hey, you want to talk to anybody, talk to me. 11-7. Alex Turcotte, the youngster, played his first game in game number 1 in the playoffs in his career. Malott stays in, and probably because Evander Kane was making his debut, they wanted to have that neutralizer.
Here's Gavrikov. Meanwhile, Overari still doesn't have a shift tonight as LA's 7th defenseman. So they're going with 17 guys right now. Kuzmenko looking to shrug off Emerson. Back to Edmondson, received from Kempe, a drive, and that's pinballed off Skinner, but directly to Nugent Hopkins. He'll throw it up to Janmark, and the Oilers break out. Kulak, Arvidsson, back to Kulak, clubbed off his stick. Kopitar put it back behind for Kempe. Edmondson shovels it back through center. Walking back in is McDavid. Edmondson will complete the change. Draisaitl hops over the boards with McDavid up the gut, one touch, and Kempe skating right by it. Janmark to McDavid, dishing off to Draisaitl, broken up. And Kuzmenko will carefully bring it through the neutral zone. Chipping and charging past Walman as both teams reset. Draisaitl tried to thrust it across on the backhand side, but that was knocked down by Deneau. Kuzmenko will put it right back toward Deneau.
One has to be careful with these hope passes.
Doughty, his shot deflected. And broken stick for Moore. He'll grab new lumber on the fly as it's tucked in deep by Corey Perry. 2.5 remaining. Second period. Oilers were in a 4-0 hole in the opener. 3-0 tonight, trying to battle their way back. And the Kings will be guilty of an icing call. Well, the stakes have never been higher as we turn our eyes toward election night. Join CBC News for Canada Votes 2025, Monday, April 28th. It begins at 6:30 Eastern everywhere you get CBC News.
And for Edmonton right now, Jack, don't want to be too aggressive here trying to look for the perfect offensive play. You saw McDavid tried to thread it through to Draisaitl, through a few sticks picked off. Draisaitl tried to get it to McDavid on the fly. Now, these are elite players that can make that play, but they're already down by 2 goals and a lot of time left in this game. Manage the puck, work it into the offensive zone, look for your chances. The Kings are just waiting to turn a puck over again and look for an opportunity.
Failed clear by Vogel. Draisaitl in front and redirected wide.
Oh, there's a trip, no call.
On the ice with McDavid as the top unit, looking to keep LA under duress here. McDavid well defended by Fogle that time as he tried to enter the zone, and then Bouchard turned it over.
Bouchard turns it over
on
to
the
the
counter
blue line
attack.
again.
Deneau will fling it in deep. LA gets a change. Deneau bumped it free for LaFerriere. Ducked inside of Bouchard to grasp possession. Draisaitl beneath the goal line. Rifles a pass ahead for Hyman. Race for the puck. Edmonton back in time to draw the icing against the Oilers with a $1:48.
Don't feed into his delusion, man. Don't feed into his stupidity.
Here's a nice little knockdown.
Goodnight's just bitter his team has never won a cup in front of him.
Shot pass by Draisaitl. The recognition that
Hyman
Hyman was
fucking
right
scored,
there
man.
on the doorstep and just deflected this one a
Triple
little
no
bit
call,
wide as
though.
Doughty was right on top of
course
him, but
not.
still the strong stick of Hyman punches it through.
So now, a face-off, Byfield against Draisaitl, and Draisaitl is able to tug it back to Bouchard, who whistles one down the ice, and that'll turn into another icing call against the Oilers. 7 seconds more run off the clock.
The gamesmanship, you just saw LaFerriere take the puck off of Bouchard, and because I'll give that to the official. I don't want you having the puck ever. And it's just, you know, for the Los Angeles Kings, there's a chip on their shoulder, rightfully so. They've lost the last 3 playoff series to this Edmonton team, and every chance they can get, the little stops in front of the net. You saw Byfield slam on the brakes in front of Skinner. They're trying to get into the kitchen of the Edmonton Oilers.
Stakes so high in terms of 1-1 going back to Edmonton as opposed to 2-0. We told you earlier, Oilers only once have rallied from 2-0 down. Only once have the LA Kings blown a 2-0 series lead, and you got to go back to 1968. Kings' first year in the league. Here's Kopitar. Kempe driving behind, looking inside. Now you've got Kopitar. Kuzmenko tripped up with Bouchard. No penalty was called, and the Oilers bust out. Draisaitl and Nugent Hopkins. Draisaitl trying to fool Kemper, and he did successfully force.
Oh no,
Kemper
be negative, Dal. Be negative.
with a minute 21 to go.
I don't mind the negativity as long as it's productive negativity. Like if you see something on the ice that you don't like, say it. But don't be like some of these idiots in this chat that are just, we need leadership. Captain sucks. Stuart Skinner sucks. Bouchard sucks. If you're frustrated, be frustrated. You have every right to be frustrated. I'm pissed off right now at what I'm looking at with this Oiler team. I'm honest, guys. I'm pissed off with what I'm watching right now.
Nugent Hopkins out there with Kane and Brown. Won the faceoff. Emerson a shot. Save Kemper. Rebound available and knocked away at the last minute from Connor Brown.
1 minute left to go in the second period. 3-1 LA.
Made by Kemper. That time it was Ty Emerson with a couple of shots that made their way through, and more rough stuff in front of the LA net as Edmonton determined to crowd Kemper.
And those shots had some pace on it from Ty Emerson, and that's the key. Have a presence in front, get a shot in to a goaltender that when he sees the puck, he's been fantastic this year, and especially on home ice. And the gamesmanship continues as Evander Kane gets involved with Doughty. Some conversation afterwards. Win the faceoff, and it's a winger win after the chop by Nugent Hopkins. Kane gets it back, and then he just gets to the front of the net. That shot by Emerson, not hammered by Kemper. Almost a chance for Brown, and then this little wrister again looking for the...
Like, I understand frustration. I understand heat of the moment getting mad. I'm that guy that gets mad, that loses his mind and throws his hammer. I'm that guy. But don't say the same stuff over and over and over and get repetitively stupid. Be constructive. If you're going to be negative, be constructive.
And make it a little more difficult for him in this game too.
Look at the mug of Drew Doughty.
Like I said, don't be this guy.
And Darcy Kemper preparing for another face-off to his left. Nugent Hopkins, fierce battle off the draw. Kicked it free for Kane. Back to the point, no one home. And here comes Kevin Fiala. He'll challenge Klingberg. Drop it off LaFerriere. Cuts inside. And Fama fell down. And the Oilers will come the other way. Doughty.
50 seconds left to go in the second period. Oilers down 3-1.
Inside the final minute of the second
Shots are
period.
2019 for LA.
Tried a second time to get it through Klingberg and couldn't do it. So now Klingberg advances.
2 power play goals for LA. That's the difference.
By Anderson, sent over to Doughty. Shrapnel in the LA zone. Doughty fires down the middle on net and Skinner will guide one over to Woolman. Time for one last rush here for the Oilers.
Yeah, who knows? They may surprise and win it
About
for
the
you.
ice. SZN deep, Kemper handles the puck, puts it on the boards, knocked down by Draisaitl, shoveled down low. Connor McDavid turning, firing. That eluded everyone. One-timer, Bouchard, that stayed out.
Arvidsson's just getting cross-checked like crazy by Drew Doughty.
Got one really late in the second on Monday. History will not repeat itself. And as the horn goes, the LA Kings will take a 3-1.
Must be nice to be number 8 for the LA Kings. Cross-check and trip whoever the fuck you want. Anyways, guys, out-of-town scoreboard. I forgot to do that in the first period. Talk about your out-of-town scoreboard. I'm going to bounce out of here for a little bit. I got to rest my... I got to reset myself. I need to reset myself. One nothing Colorado after 2. 3-1 after 2. Kings over the Oilers. The Washington Capitals beat the Canadiens 3-1 to take a 2-1 series, 2-0 series lead there. Tomorrow night's game, there's four games on the schedule. Florida's played Lightning game 2. Florida leads the series 1-0. Toronto leads the series against the Senators 2-0. Game 3 is tomorrow in Ottawa. Vegas goes to Minnesota to take on the Wild. That series is tied at 1. The Jets are in St. Louis to take on the Blues for Game 3. Jets have a 2-0 series lead there. Then on Friday, we've got Game 3 of the Montreal-Washington series. Game 3 of the Carolina Devils series. Carolina leads that series 2-0. And Game 3 of this series, LA-Edmonton. Right now, LA leads the series 1-0, but leads Game 2 3-1. Now that you got it good and understood, enjoy the rest of your intermission. I need to... But it's not like this is game 3. That's it in a nutshell. Holy fuck. Yeah, let's do the harmonica, people. Holy fuck. Enjoy that, Joe. Enjoy the dark side of the ring. Which episode are you watching? Fucking go Kings, go on an Oilers broadcast. Mikey Anderson with a hook on McDavid, no call. The stick work that the Kings are allowed to do is just ridiculous. But it's playoff hockey. Don't expect penalties. Hey, Drew Doughty, don't expect power plays every 5 seconds. It's playoff hockey. Icing against the Oilers.
Pretty good pace. Starting off this third period by Draisaitl, McDavid, and Hyman. Good defending by the Los Angeles Kings. Don't allow them to really set up.
I guess you can have good defending when you're allowed to hook, slash, and hold on.
The storm they're going to have to weather. And you heard Newsy talk about the fact that how is LA going to react to this press by the Edmonton Oilers after the game number 1 and what's happened before between these two teams. It'll be that kind of play they're going to need to play with to close this one up.
But Colson will chip it in, and I agree with him. I thought LA got tight, and part of the reason they did was they sat back. Here's Kopitar, Andrei Kuzmenko looking, feeling. Kopitar tried to center, that was deflected off the glass and out of play. And I suppose being on your toes can help combat any sort of nervousness that could creep into your game potentially.
Play the way you play, and don't tighten up and sit back too much. And that's something the Kings have talked about a lot going into this series, their 4th in a row against Edmonton. They sat back too much in the first 3 years, and they don't want to do it again. Case in point, Grant Clark was right up on the play there looking for that cross pass, and it deflected up over top of the glass. That's a good sign of him activating, getting right down into the mix again, looking for that next one.
It was his activation on a first period power play that opened the scoring. LA then got 2 in the second, goes 3-0 before Draisaitl. Skinner and the rebound clear down the middle. Edmondson up the left-hand side. The Kings have not lost a game in regulation all year long when they get 3 goals. 42 2-0-2 in that circumstance. Sent down the middle. Hamilton to take it off the inboards and leave it to Edmonton. Brendan reached out and knocked that puck into the LA bench. I think the faceoff will come inside the LA line, and now as the officials confirm, it might in fact be dropped in front of the Kings bench.
That's what it looks like, and I know Elliot Friedman talked about Trent Frederick because you see him getting a shift here in the third period, trying to get those feet going here. He just tries to reach out. He gets a piece of that one, and it goes into the bench, and that's why the face-off right there to the outside.
Nugent Hopkins between Kane and Hyman. Highfield to take the draw for LA. With Kempe and LaFerriere. Fired in by Bouchard. Rattled around the boards. LaFerriere nudges it ahead from Byfield. Second chip will be played by Stuart Skinner. Byfield on the puck, crashed into by Nurse. Kempe. Drive by Hammertoff at the waiting glove of Stuart Skinner.
Again, the heavy presence in front of Skinner. You can see Trevor Moore was standing right on the edge of the blue paint, and it's something they've done right from the first drop of the puck in this series. They're always looking to have that presence and be a distraction. He kind of slips through, and he's right there waiting for anything left over, and a good job by Skinner to hold on to that one.
Kopitar will take the face-off against Nugent Hopkins. 18,145. Crammed into LA's Crypto.com arena. The Kings had the best record in the league all year long at home. The best in franchise history, in fact. Kempe wins the face-off. Doughty snaps it over to Anderson. His shot into the waiting glove of Skinner.
Body Armor Hydration Drink with electrolytes, natural flavors, natural sweeteners, and no colors from artificial sources. Body Armor, the official sports hydration partner of the NHL.
Kopitar and Nugent Hopkins again. Puck underneath Nugent Hopkins. Chisholm free by Kopitar. He'll receive from Anderson. Bouchard able to seal it. Nurse for Hyman. Brings it up the center. Kopitar wrestling it off his tape. Anderson to Doughty. Off the gut to Snapko. Fakes. Right in his grill is Klingberg. He's played well tonight. And just the second big chance for backdoor net on Snapko. He missed the puck. Anderson knocked it around. Vander Kane recognized, got it back to center, and then Doughty fired it for the opposite goal. Grabbed by Klingberg. He tried to drop it.
That's offside.
The play was offside. Might have Perry, left wing, who was guilty.
Yeah. And he's kind of looking back, thinking that he had delayed just enough, but it was a little move by Klingberg on the line. Nice job to step up once again. So as you mentioned, hasn't played in a while, but he's really jumped right into the series with a beautiful shot pass to Draisaitl in the second period for the primary assist on the goal that Edmonton has.
A lot of poise. McDavid removed from the face-off dot. Draisaitl against Deneau. We talked about it. I mean, the Kings, 80% of the time, have either Deneau or Kopitar on draws, regardless of zone. Klingberg back to Draisaitl. He'll gain the line. Checked against the half wall. Grabbed by Trevor Moore. It's a 3-on-2. Developing. Deneau. Over a shot off the rock. Stand in by Skinner. Klingberg calmly back gets the rebound up to Perry.
Let's go, Podkolzin! Harvey gets the goal, though! Arvidsson with the goal. It's 3-2 LA. 15:50 left to go in the third period. By the way, I disagree with you. And it's not that they're not trying to get a number one goal. I'm not trying to dispute that. But who? Because everybody you're saying is not a number one goalie. Everybody you're throwing out is not only not a number one goalie, but a not number one goalie that's going to take less than $5 million. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. The next number one goalie for the Edmonton Oilers has to make less than $5 million. And he's not out there.
And again, traffic ensues.
That's why we're sick with Skinner. Like, guys, I'm not being an asshole when I say Stuart Skinner is the goalie for the Oilers. I'm telling you flat out why. It's not because I love the guy and I think he's the greatest thing since sliced fucking bread. Clearly he's not good. Gibson is not coming to Edmonton. He makes too much money. Gibson is going to want $7, $8, $9 million to come to Edmonton. Why is that so hard for you to understand, my friend? I respect what you're saying, but Gibson makes too much money and he's too fucking old. The Oilers are not going to downgrade.
Kulak wasted little time with that one-timer onto the net.
They're not going to downgrade with getting Gibson. Just not. If it's not Skinner, you're going to pay $10 million for a goalie. So you can say goodbye to good star forwards coming here. What do you want? Do you want the goal scoring or do you want the goalie? You can't have both. Unless you draft a goalie in the 9th round of the NHL draft and he becomes a Lundqvist or a Sorokin or a Shesterkin. It's just not that.
And that puck might.
I hate to tell you that, but it's just not that.
Jack, tonight's Oilers Alberta Fights Cancer Playoffs 50-50 presented by Rogers.
Like, I hate to be that guy, but Stuart Skinner is the goalie for the Oilers. Whether you like it, whether I like it, whether these idiots on the internet like it. Stuart Skinner, for the remainder of his contract, which is next year, is an Oiler. And then we'll go from there.
Reversed up to LaFerriere, held in by Wallman. His shot does not make its way through. And the Kings able.
We can reassess that after his contract is up. But he's making $1.5 million. Combined, him and Picard are making less than Gibson. It's just...
And now Jake Wallman slows the pace. The outlet pass on target for Hunt. Edmondson back defensively. Won the battle. Went down to Heath as Edmondson wedges it through the neutral zone. LaFerriere, snapshot blocked, rebound, tried to tuck it short side, and it stayed in. Centering pass Anderson. He'll get way. Moving to the net is Kuzmenko. Kings certainly attacking here in the third.
No.
Even though their lead has been...
I don't think that's a downgrade at all. I mean, I think that's a huge downgrade being a shooter-tutor. You can't say Skinner is bad. He's had a bad year, yes. There's, again, I hate that I've signed I haven't signed anything, but I hate that I have. score a goal because nobody's playing
Playing with
defense.
fire when you turn the puck over in the defensive zone. This puck bobbles a little bit. Arvidsson can't handle it.
Nobody's playing
And
defense.
Kempe, who's the late man to get into the zone. Boy, does he pick this corner.
Bouchard again, giveaway city.
Such a great shooter and follow the bouncing puck. It looks like it's under control. Almost
Arvidsson, sorry, gives the puck away.
And Kulak and that little bobble of the puck.
Arvidsson
leads to
gives the puck
turnover.
away.
And then Kulak wisely gets himself, Kempe, wisely gets himself in the spot. Look at that little look.
The Oilers are
back by
beating
Klobuchar. Did you see
themselves, and
that?
it's kind of
As soon as
comical.
this puck turned over, he took a quick little look. He knew that Kempe was coming
Like,
late. Mano a mano.
Epic, I want you to look at Gibson's contract.
A wicked shooter.
And look how old
And the
Gibson
Kings
is.
have their 2-goal lead back again.
If you think Gibson is coming to Edmonton, I don't see it happening.
Shoot it in. 13th giveaway of the night for the Oilers proves costly. Edmonton sees the deficit move back to a pair. 4-2 Los Angeles. Kempe from Kopitar.
I just don't see.
Henrique tried to cut inside.
Byfield just cross-checks the Oilers player in front of the net. No call, I think.
To Kulak, looking for a lane. A shot deflected up on the glass.
Like, yes, is there an upgrade out there for Skinner? Absolutely there is. But you have to think about it money-wise and logical wise. As long as Stuart Skinner is making less than $3 million a year,
And it's going to be a roughing call and a penalty that Edmonton did not need.
so you call that! You call that! But you missed the cross-check at center ice!
They're going to see them go at it right here. And
How do you not call that?
little shot. And as he was stopping, gives him a little whack. It was a cross-check by Byfield, who's been pretty...
Byfield is allowed to cross-check somebody at center ice, middle of the ice in the defensive zone. No call, but he gets hit and falls over.
When flight prices dropped, Vic could finally book his midlife crisis.
If you want to call every ticky-tack bullshit, you call it both ways. You can't let one team turn dog shit and another team do nothing. I disagree, Epic. I disagree because I'm watching this team. It's not the goalie. How the fuck is a goalie supposed to make a save when the team gives away the puck at the blue line every fucking game at least 5 times? I'm sorry, but enough. Enough of saying that it's Skinner's fault. Put some blame on the fucking forwards that don't play defense. Put some blame on Arvidsson who had the puck on his stick and just, potato. Like, I'm sorry, but I'm sick and tired of the Skinner hate. He's not going anywhere. And if you can't accept that, then maybe we shouldn't be cheering for the Oilers. Because he's going to be the goalie next year. And for as far as I know, he will be the goalie the year after that, the year after that, and the year after that, making $3 million a year for the next 5. Tell me a player, a number one goalie that's going to make less than $5 million and give you saves. Name a goalie that's going to do it. You can't. Because they don't exist. Like I said, I respect your opinion, but you are wrong. There's no goalie going to come save the Oilers. Where we don't lose a bunch of players.
Live on Sportsnet.
0 clutch games. All of game round 3 against Dallas.
Just undisciplined for Henrique, and I know he was frustrated from the battle earlier where he took a pretty good cross-check, but he...
Skinner's going to be the goalie next year, Barbershop. Whether you guys like it or not, Skinner is the goalie next year. Unless there's a big trade that the Oilers can make where they're losing Hopkins, losing a defenseman, and losing their goalie. If there's no trade like that, it's not happening.
Too far for Kuzmenko, going to be handled by Stuart Skinner.
I'm sorry, but
Scored in game 1, creating
just not happening. Unless the Oilers brass pulls off a trade where Hopkins goes, Bouchard goes, and Skinner goes, there's no trade out there available.
There's 2 stretch passes that just missed. One to Kuzmenko the one way, and then Yarmark all alone at the offensive blue line just couldn't corral that puck that was high.
I had to check to make
I
sure
can't
he was on the power play.
fathom fans that just
He's on the man advantage because rarely do you see
ignore everything Stuart Skinner did for the good.
Here's Fiala shooting a save made by Stuart Skinner, who now needs to keep a clean sheet the rest of the way to give the Oilers any hope of rallying in this one. 11 and a half remaining. Kings on the power play, leading 4-2. It's Kopitar across.
They've had one good year, Barbershop.
Checked by Nurse.
Do it again. I will tell you this right fucking now. Do it again next year. Stolars, do it again next year. One good year means fucking dick all. Skinner had a colder year the other year.
Kuzmenko, Fiala. Around the boards to Kopitar. Up top, Kempe.
It's just fucking stupidity. Backdoor goal, of course. Score on the fucking power play yet again. But that's Skinner's fault.
Tough shift here for Ty Emberson. He stays in the battle, but took a good
Blame Skinner
from Fiala early on the shift, and then catches a high one from Kopitar behind the net.
I might got Hiroshima on Friday, guys.
The confidence is oozing with this 5-forward group on the ice. So many options, and that pass by Fiala.
There might not be a stream on Friday. I can't deal with all this negative stuff.
This time he threads it seam to Kopitar, and the right.
I can't deal with all the fucking negative bullshit, guys. Like I said, it's one thing if I'm getting it from one guy in here. But if you guys are clearly that fucking stupid, and I am saying you guys are that fucking stupid to think that Stuart Skinner is the problem and Stuart Skinner isn't going to be here, I don't know what to tell you guys. I honestly don't know what to tell you guys. 5 goals on 27 shots, 3 of them on the fucking power play. Need I say more, dude?
By far the lowest of any playoff team this year. Here's Moore directing toward Stuart Skinner, but 3 for 4 tonight. And it's the difference in the game. LA leads 5-2, and Edmonton's offside, and because the puck was...
3 goals on the power play. Had these been 5-on-5 goals, sure, okay, I'll give you that. But our power play needs to be better. Okay, Epic, I'm done, man. I get you're frustrated. I get where you're at. I'm done. I'm done, man. You guys enjoy your Friday. I won't be here. I won't be here Friday. You guys enjoy your Friday.
19th year for Kopitar. 14 of them 20-goal campaigns, including this one. Here's Philip Deneau. Lofts one toward the net, and that's caught like a pop fly by Skinner. And he's almost asking for the crowd to serenade him, which they will respond in kind. LA. Bouchard to Nurse. Still 10.5 minutes remain. Bouchard. Nurse. Shooting. Deflected. Dangerously in the slot for a moment. And then brought back up ice by Trevor Moore. And the Kings did not shrink when Edmonton got the tip in to cut it 3-2. They kept coming, and they've been rewarded. Here's McDavid working his way in. Knocked off the puck. Anderson and Edmondson stolen by Victor Arvidsson. Oilers won't go quietly either, as we of course saw in game 1. But they're running out of time. Byfield to Fiala, backing his way in. Byfield to the net with a wrist shot that's blocked. Rebound to Fiala. Shoots and then rocking it out of play with 9.5 to go in the third period. The Los Angeles Kings with a 5-2 lead. Fiala chesting up with Matthias Janmark as two teams that have grown tired of seeing one another. Game number 36 in the last 4 years. It's gone LA's way thus far, 5-2. Kopitar's 5th career 3-point playoff game.
The all.
No, I know, Epic, but I'm telling you facts right now. Skinner will be the goalie next year. Whether we like it or not, there is not a better option out there that is making less than $3 million. I know that's directed at me, but I feel like I'm the only one that's speaking facts and speaking truth here. Everybody wants to fucking make quick. Everybody wants a number one goalie. How much are you willing to pay to get that number one goalie? This is all I'm saying. And I'm saying it as honestly as I can say it. I'm trying to tell you guys, Skinner is the goalie. He's had a bad year. And honestly, I wish I could tell you guys why, but I'm not allowed to. I wish there was more I could say. I wish there was more I could give you guys. But I'm not allowed to. So, when I tell you that this is going to be the worst year that Stuart Skinner is ever going to have in his NHL career, this is going to be the worst year Stuart Skinner is ever going to have in his NHL career. When I tell you this is going to be the worst year Stuart Skinner is probably going to ever have in his personal life, this will be the worst year he's ever going to have in his personal life. Their window isn't just now. Their window is now. Their window is 5 years from now. Their window is 7 years from now. I'm telling you with my full chest, this is the worst that Stuart Skinner will ever look in an Oiler uniform is this year. Skinner got pulled. Skinner's out. Picard's in net. So you guys got what you wanted. Picard will start game 3. And this isn't a reflection of how Skinner plays. It's the team in fucking front of him. Sometimes I wish I was an asshole. This team is old this year. Epic. Epic. This team will not be this old next year. We're losing all the old guys next year in the offseason. This team is going to be, on average, 10 years younger per player next year. So trust me when I say this team is old this year and that's it. So I guess it's Skinner's fault that goal went into, right? Skinner's fault that went into. Skinner's fault that went into. Skinner's fault that went into, right, guys? Skinner didn't make that save. I trust Picard. Fucking stupid. Like I said, enjoy your Friday, guys. I won't be here. Like I said, it's Skinner's fault, right? That's Skinner's fault that he didn't make that save? Fucking ridiculous, you guys.
And now the chance switches to Pickard. 6-2 Los Angeles. Oilers guilty of an
this team doesn't play good in front of any goalie right now.
And the Kings respond with
I'm trying to spit facts for you guys to help you guys realize these two goalies make less than every other goalie combined in the NHL. Stolarz had one good year. Congratulations to Stolarz. The guy in Vancouver had one good year. Where's the Vancouver Canucks? Not in the fucking playoffs. Why? So it could be, again, a blowout? Barbershop, it doesn't matter. This team is not playing good defensively. It doesn't matter who's in net right now. This team's out of sync right now. And hopefully they find their game in Game 3.
Slovenian. Andrzej Kopitar wedged out by Philip Deneau, and now Warren Fogle assumes possession. Draisaitl
He's going to have
away
to.
from traffic. Out with
Ekholm is going to have to.
on this shift. Evander Kane. Back to Draisaitl. A little reverse hit on Anderson. A shot by Kane. A save made by Darcy Kemper. Rebound shipped up to Fogle. He didn't get it out, but Deneau will. 8 minutes to play. And LA is going to hold serve at home. They say a series does not begin until the road team wins a game. Game 3 will be Friday night in Edmonton. Byfield.
Well, we're not going down without a fight.
He got drilled by Emerson. Puck shaken free for Kulak. Up to Nugent Hopkins.
Joe, yes, he will. I can guarantee you Ekholm is not as hurt as people are saying he is. Oh, there's a trip not called.
Losing. Having again survived another Edmonton rally. Oilers down 3-0.
Bad giveaway by Arvidsson.
Down low to Fiala. LaFerriere. Snapshot wide of Picker. And the rebound comes off the end boards. Kick to the corner for Nugent Hopkins, who leaves it for Emerson. And then, as Byfield finishes, Nugent Hopkins retaliates, and we got a penalty coming.
Byfield.
It's a slash, and it's Matthias Janmark.
Byfield hits somebody away from the puck. He gets retaliated on. Falls over like a fucking pussy and forces power play for the
A
Kings.
lot of words with Fiala. He wanted to step in and take
These refs are
that
fucking
instead
terrible.
of Henrique, and gets his money's
These
worth
refs
on
are
this
fucking
slash.
terrible.
And here's the thing, we talked about Byfield.
That's a
He's
late
been
hit.
Physical guy. There's one hit. It's not much of a hit, but the frustration's boiled over here for Edmonton.
Oh, Byfield, you get shot from fucking.
Janmark jumps on the ice. He just
Hey, Jesse
jumps down
Smoltz.
Byfield.
Hey, Jesse Smoltz.
And I think
Judging by Podgolz's body language, if the penalty had not been called, he might have been the
he
next
was looking to
to
maybe do something, but once the whistle blew down, he pulled.
Holy Jesse Smollett over here, man.
There certainly is a lot of frustration
Must
right
run in
now
the
on
blood.
Oilers bench, and rightfully so, as the Los Angeles Kings, like they did in game number 1, have been outstanding on the power play and have found a way to score when they need it.
Now, Brent Clark was on the last power play when the game was still tight at 4-2. In this situation, 5 LA forwards, their top 5 out there, 6-2 lead in less than 7 minutes to play. Kempe turned it over. Nugent Hopkins gliding his way through the neutral zone.
I'm not worried about this Oilers team. I will say with my full chest. I'm mad about this game and I'm mad about this
I
outcome.
think they'll take note of it.
Absolutely.
I know why Los Angeles is doing it.
Byfield, Kopitar, saucer back Kempe. Kopitar back to Kempe. Kuzmenko. Kempe dishing on. Fiala gets it back from Kopitar.
Oh no, management knows. Management's gonna have to be addressed.
Through Adrian Kempe.
LA's been the more disciplined team, Jack. They're the team that has been able
LA
to
has
find
not been
themselves
more
on the power
disciplined.
play more often
They're just the
than
team
their
that's getting
power
away
plays
with
flying,
more.
and they're liking the way things are going. So for Jim Hiller, he puts the top unit out there. He knows that Edmonton's going to take note of this. And he's kind of saying, okay, take another one.
Is this
And
too many men or a penalty on Edmonton? Play was whistled down. I thought too many men.
they're giving him the gate here for this slash.
Again.
The slashes
Now,
away.
this is the risk when you put your top unit on the ice. Guys can take runs at him, and it's, again, Quentin Byfield who... And there's a little whack on the shin pad there, too, by Podkolzin. I'm not sure why they're putting him down the tunnel. He went right to the dressing room. So obviously a misconduct, I'm guessing.
Yeah, it's just a
misconduct for
not an
chopping everybody in sight.
Not an additional power play, I should say, rather than penalty. Here's Doughty fanning, grabbing it back, giving it up. Clark, a shot, the save made by Pickard. Rebound, Arvidsson. Heading for the net against
I'm going to do some talking to some people. I may or may not be back on Friday.
Right back with
I got to do some searching with some people.
to put this game out of reach.
I'm not going to say there isn't going to be a stream, but I'm not going to say there is going to be one.
For the officials, they see things.
I got to talk to my people and see what's good for my mental health, because I can't be doing this. I preach all the time, you got to take care of yourself before you take care of others. And I think I'm going to talk to some people and see if Friday is good for me to... It has nothing to do with the game and the outcome of the game, guys. There's a lot of shit going on.
Bouchard to Klingberg. Down the middle, that's going to be picked off. Here's Adrian Kempe. Hustling it across the line, lost the handle as he did so. That will do it for the Kings' power play. Still 3 for 5 tonight. Kopitar to Kempe, and he'll slug it back into the Edmonton zone. 3:45 remaining in the hockey game. Klingberg on Adam Henry. I've seen the end of McDavid and Draisaitl for tonight. See whether Chris Knobloch elects to keep them off here. Garbage time, as why not?
I think they played enough in the fact that it's 6-2 with 3 minutes on the clock, and give them a little extra rest and get prepared for game number 3. This one's done. And for the Los Angeles Kings, just trying to close this one out and get to the dressing room.
Kulak and Emerson trade as they hit the red line. It's Emerson who shoots it in. Kemper to Edmondson. Highfield has it broken up by Kulak. Malott couldn't get it deep. Yanmar comes away with it for Edmonton. And an offside whistled against the Oilers with
Worst
2.5
part about it is Gary
remaining
Bettman will never
in the
retire.
third, and the LA Kings.
Gary Bettman has already said he'll retire after 3 things happen. The new deal with the Canadian Broadcast Corporation, CBC Sportsnet, that got done. Expansion into 6 more places for America, that won't get done for another 8 years. He's got a checklist of 3 things that he wants to see done before he retires. New TV deal, CBA, and expansion teams. They had a pretty big impact, Joe. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? Like, dude, they had as big an impact as you can have. Like I said, I'm done replying to stupid shit. You guys talk the stupid fucking shit out your assholes all you want. I'm not going to look at it. I'm not going to reply to it. If you're going to be that ignorant and that fucking stupid, then just be that way. That's on you guys. I'm done replying to it. If you want to have a constructive thing to say it, but Oilers fans really have become the worst fans in the NHL. I've been a fan for 39 years. We've become everything I hate in a fan base. We've become everything I hate in a fan base. Honestly, guys, we have become everything I hate in a fan base.
first shift of the game. I mean, he has come out every commercial timeout, gone for a skate, now getting the first game. He was the 7th defenseman dressed in this one tonight.
4 years in the American Hockey League, didn't play in either of the playoff series against Edmonton that he was up for the last 2 years. And 57.5 minutes, a long wait, but he's out there for his first shift as an NHLer in the postseason.
It's the 6th. Los Angeles Kings already in 2 games that have made their NHL playoff debut.
Overall, will shoot it in. Darnell Nurse protecting the puck behind the net, now occupied by Calvin Pickard, who replaced Stuart Skinner at the midway point of this third period. A lot of speed. Won't give it up. Quick shot snapped on net, and glove save made by Pickard against LaFerriere.
Adrian Kempe, another strong performance in game number 2, and here's the first of 2 goals, and it's a laser. Give him time to pick his spot. He's an accurate shooter. One little look like he's going to pass, and then this one is in and out in a flash. One on Skinner, one on Pickard. That's the first shot that Calvin Pickard faced in the game. That's a tough one. He's 1 for 3 now. 7 points so far in 2 games for Adrian Kempe. His strongest start in the 4 playoff series against Edmonton.
This is the first time, of course, LA will be up 2-0 against Edmonton.
No, don't be sorry,
over this
Epic. Don't be sorry. I get your
last
frustration.
4
Dude, I understand your frustration. I'm with you. I'm just knowing what I know and why I know it. It just pisses me off that, you know, I'm just gonna say it, and you guys, hopefully you guys understand when I say this, and I hope the person that I'm saying this about understands why I'm saying it. You guys know that Stuart Skinner and Chloe had a baby in the off season or just before the season started. I don't know if you guys follow the Skinners at all on social media. They haven't talked too much about their son that was just born. There's a reason for that. Skinner's having a hard time at home, and it's not an excuse. You have a job to do, fucking do your job. I get that. But when your mind is half here, half there, for the majority of the season, his mind was half not here. So yeah, I gave him a lot of benefit of the doubt. But the team in front of him tonight did not play well enough to win this game. They got to regroup. Regroup hard for game 3. There's no excuses now. You can't go down 3-0. You went down 2-0. You lost 12-6 in 2 games. 2-game aggregate is 12-6. So yeah, when I say things are going to get better for Friday, things will be better.
They flipped the script thus far through 2 games. Felt like they had done so by earning home ice advantage with a better regular season record, and on the power play where they were outscored 9-0 in last year's series, they have a 5-0 spread in this series and a 2-0 edge going back to Edmonton.
I hate that, knowing what I know, because I dealt with a son that was in NICU for 41 days. When my son was born, he was born way too early, premature. We were in the NICU for 41 days straight. That's not a feeling that I ever want to put on anybody. So yeah, knowing what I know, it sucks, and it's just, I get it, you guys don't care. You shouldn't care. You're a professional athlete. You get paid to do the thing. You get paid to go out and do your job. That's what you get paid for. You're a millionaire because of it. You have as a friend of mine says, pressure is a privilege. Pressure is a privilege, right? Because a lot of people don't have the pressure in their lives. They don't have the privilege to have pressure. So pressure is a privilege. And the pressure is on this Edmonton Oilers team to go to Edmonton and win 2 games. By hook or by crook, the Oilers got to win the next 2. No excuses. You have to win the next 2. If that means starting Calvin Pickard, start Calvin Pickard. Do it. If that means telling Stuart Skinner that was the last game you're going to see in the playoffs, do it. But there is no way this team is going to get bounced in round 1. Was LA the better team tonight? Absolutely. No question about it. No thought in my mind. The better team won. Play a full 60 if you're the Oilers in Game 3. Translate that to play a full 60 in Game 4. That's why the series aren't 3 games. The series isn't 1 and 2. The series is 1 and 4. And they say the hardest game to win is the 4th one. So let's just hope the Oilers show up for Friday, because I know the fans will. Despite everything that's happened in LA the last 2 games, the Oilers fans are going to show up on Friday. The barn is going to be loud. The Oilers are going to feed off that energy. And the Oilers have to win. It's a must win. Friday is a must win. Anyways, guys, I've kept you guys long enough. My name is Matt for OilersFanReaction. Hopefully I see you guys on Friday. If not, I hope you guys understand. I just need a mental break. He can't, Joe. Because it's not him that's dealing. That's the thing with the NHLPA, is it's not him dealing with the issue. It's not him that has a substance abuse issue. It's not him that has an issue. But and it's been talked about, him taking a break, but what does that do for the Oilers, and where does that leave the Oilers? With Pickard and Rodriguez, your goaltenders? Because again, this is the pickle the Oilers have themselves. Stewart makes $1.5 million. What kind of goalie can you get for that money? Had Stewart Skinner making $5, $6, $7 million, then that's replaceable, because you can put him on the LTIR and then you can go get a goalie with that money. But you can't go get a goalie at 1.5 to be a starter in the NHL. But I understand you guys. I get you guys. I understand you guys. I respect the fuck out of you guys for coming at me and telling me you're not happy. It's not easy. Obviously, it's not easy for you guys, right? Personal reasons for mental stuff. Dad died. Because his son isn't dead. Like, nobody's dead or dying. I guess that's the difference, Joe. It's nobody's dead or dying. It's just he's sick. But I digress. It puts him, it puts the Oilers, it puts a lot of people in a pickle with how bad he's played. You know, like I said, no excuse though. You're a professional athlete. Pressure is a privilege. I have the privilege to come on here every game day and talk to you guys. It's a privilege. Right? It's a privilege. I have power. I have electricity. I have internet. I live a privileged life. But yes. Better days ahead. Game 3 is around the corner on Friday. Oilers better show up. Oilers better score and score often. Otherwise, this will be a quick series. Even if it goes 5 or 6, this will be a quick series. If you would have asked me 3 days ago what I thought, I would have full-heartedly with my whole chest told you Oilers are winning the series in 6. Now I'm saying it with a little bit of a whimper, a little bit of a child tone. Oilers in 7. I'm whispering it now. Oilers in 7, because it's not that I'm scared of the LA Kings. There is nothing to be scared about the LA Kings. Don't get it twisted. I'm not scared about the Kings. I'm more worried about the defensive liabilities the Oilers have and them not being able to clear the puck out of their own zone, forwards included. Anyways, guys, thank you all for being here. My name is Matt for Oilers Fan Reaction. Have a good rest of the week. Enjoy Thursday. Watch some good hockey. Watch the Maple Leafs play if that's your team. Watch the Jets play. Watch the Blues play. Watch some really good hockey. Yeah. Watch some really good hockey tomorrow. Because that's going to be tomorrow. It's going to be some really good hockey. Anyways, guys, catch you on the other side. Deuces.